Open your mind. Your mind. Your mind. Your mind.
Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of
And so a community is where you control your police, you control your commerce, you control your education, you control your house. We don't control none of that. We live in a hood. Huh? Well, what about the Negroes that get out? Oh, well, see, my cousin, they say he's a multi-millionaire, almost at $1 billion. Three PhDs, working on 2 more. Driving down the street in Chicago in his Rolls Royce, enjoying himself, and he hear these sirens and look through the mirror and see this cop car flashing lights. He squeezed the steering wheel, man. Heart beats fast. Because he knows the price of a Negro, what it could be. And then when that cop car passed him by, he said, thank God he wasn't after you in the first place, Paul. That Negro thing you can't get away from. It's universal. They wasn't coming after you. With all your millions, with your Rolls Royce, with your PhD, didn't help. That's the hood. Why do you think you never pick up the paper until you leave over and over and see white families? You think it's thousands of black cops in America. Why don't you see white families crying as black cops shot my loved one 42 times in the back of the head? Why do you think black cops are better? You think they're more spiritual? Think they're better? No! They got enough sense to know that white folks ain't gonna tolerate it. And I will stop in our neighborhood when we decide we will not tolerate it. Now, if we was organized, which is hard to organize people who are just gonna run crazy and you don't know you're crazy. But if we were, with the money we have, and the many people who would come to our aid that don't know what it's like to be a Negro, and we said, if we said, look, we saying, if we don't get a federal law to deal with police brutality, that anytime a cop or anybody carry a gun, have to have a license just like you to drive a car. And if you use it wrongly, you'll lose your license. And if it's upheld, you can never work again as a cop or a store guard or a private detective. How do you get Congress to protect you? Well, you take your economic power and you call on your friends, black, white, young and old, and say, this coming Christmas, if we don't have a federal law to outlaw police brutality by law, if we call them for a nationwide boycott of Christmas and it'll start on Thanksgiving. Well, let me tell you what that means. 79% of all retail in America happens between Thanksgiving and Christmas. People stay in business all year, lose money just for Christmas, huh? Well, what happens now? Sac Fifth Avenue, Toys R Us, Sears and Roebuck, Westinghouse. They will get the bill, and all they got to do is make one phone call and say, Harry, that's the senator, I want that bill pushed through in 3 days. Okay, it's an economic thing. It's that simple. But we have the power, but the system has wiped us out so bad.
hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power.
San Antonio, Lincoln 6. Go ahead. Clear suspect down 10-4. That's 10-4. The officer's code 4. We have one suspect that's been shot.
Open your mind. Your mind. Your mind. And we are back. Peace, folks. Welcome back to another edition of the Proper Thought Series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why your black asses are here. Tonight, special show tonight, man. The one and only brother AM1 is up in here, man, and we're gonna be talking about the video game. I know y'all thought we was gonna be in here playing Madden or Call of Duty or some shit like that, but no, not that kind of video game. God damn it! But before we get started, y'all know I always start the stream off, man, with thanking you good folks, man, for your likes, your shares, your views, your subs, and of course, your hard-earned pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and 50-cent pieces. Because I realize you don't have to do it, man. You don't have to show up to these damn streams. You don't have to watch these videos. You don't have to share them, like them, and you definitely don't have to drop your hard-earned coins on this platform. But you good folks choose to do so, man. And I want you to know, man, I don't take you lightly. I never have, and I never will. You got my word on that. I'm humbled. I'm honored. I'm appreciative, man, of everything y'all do. Um, I'm grateful and I'm thankful. All right. All right. So let's get at it. Let me bring in my boat, the one and only brother AM1. What's good with it, man?
Go ahead and unmute this thing. What's good with your big bro X? I appreciate the invite, man. How you doing, sir?
Man, it's been a minute, man. It's been a minute, man. You haven't been up here in a long time.
Been a little minute. Yeah, man. You know what it is. It's been crazy past couple of
Yeah.
years, and I've just been on my grind, man. I've been on my grind, getting it in on the media work, the video work, the consulting work, traveling, making moves, adapting. The world's changing a little bit, gotta make moves while still getting
Mhm.
them skills up. You understand?
Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember when I first started this Hours of Power series. I think you were like part of like the second group that I had on here. So it's been that long. I think you were like one of the third or fourth people that I had on this Hour of Power series. So I think it's been that long since you've been here, man. Been
Yeah,
that
no,
long.
it's been a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we've
been
been
that
rocking with
long.
this space for a while. Obviously, seeing you make moves, blowing up, doing the debate streams and whatnot, doing the one-on-ones, a pillar of the community in this community. You understand? Everybody knows Brother X,
Yeah,
right?
that's what they tell me.
Of
They they
course.
tell they tell me that they all know me, but I don't think I believe them.
You better haunt
But
them in their sleep.
but man, I've been checking out your stuff. Actually, full disclosure, I was down at Brother AM1's not too long ago, and he was talking about the manosphere or an article or a piece of literature that was, pertaining to the manosphere. And I think I want to start with that. What do you think? Like, how far has the circle of influences come? Like, because we were talking about, I think we were talking about the diversity of it, and I think you were saying that it should be more of it. So is that the thing? Is that something that's going to hold it back, or is it enough of it already?
Enough diversity?
Yeah.
No.
Not so much as titles, and topics. I'm talking about diversity of how things look, graphics, video work. I mean, or are we all carbon copies of each other?
Interesting. I would say carbon copies to the degree that most of the topics are the same,
Mhm.
the topics in general. And I get it. I mean, if we're going to talk Black Manosphere, if we're going to talk Black YouTube and then specifically Black Manosphere and specifically the conglomeration of channels that all kind of know each other and it's this big, happy, dysfunctional ass family, then yeah, I mean, the topics for the most part orbit around the same kind of community issues or issues brothers are facing. And, I get it. I mean, bro, I'm 43. I'm from the Bay Area, Oakland, California. I've been through all kind of different strata of Black folks, right? What are considered American Black folks. I've been all through it, and then I live in a diverse area as well. So experienced a lot in my time here in this world. I got a little bit of wisdom, um, and just relative to some of the issues we're facing, I get it. And ultimately, and brothers were talking about this earlier this week, the what now discussion. What happens after we talk about some of these issues over and over and over and over? I understand that there's younger brothers coming into the space, so we want to get them up to speed on certain things. But at the same time, get them up to speed, and then there's just this backlog, a log jam of, okay, talking about the same shit. Brothers getting older. Brothers getting older. Older brothers getting older. But if we're going to talk about moving the needle on some kind of like community, moving the community forward on some like economic empowerment, political empowerment, Cloud Anderson empowernomic style, where's the resource element that needs to be pedal to the metal, driven forward? I don't know, but who am I? I mean, I talked about it. I've talked about it, within this space for a while. And brothers like, man, fall back. Just, we got to do this. This is how we do it. This is what we doing. I'm like, okay, cool. My bad. I can take it or leave it with, YouTube period or Black YouTube period, whatever. So, I'm just approaching it from the standpoint of, hey, I see a lot of brothers struggling out here. And I do understand with certain skill sets, you can liberate yourself, you can make more money. And a lot of the issues that you have with women can be mitigated by having certain skills and just having a certain focus on business first and really being about something. You'll attract a certain type of woman. You'll put yourself in certain instances where you'll avoid the ratchetry, the foolishness. And plus, it's just getting worse, right? Social media, to the point of that darkest hue thing, right? It's getting crazier, more social engineering, more social conditioning. It's gonna get worse before it gets any better, brothers. So strap in and figure it out. But guaranteed, some sooner or later, if you got a roof over your head, somebody's coming for your property tax, or somebody's coming for that rent money, or your stomach gonna be growling. So you gotta do that first. Woman or no woman, you gotta do that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, regardless of anything else, you gotta eat, sleep, shower, shave, shit, pay rent, pay water, pay lights. All that has to happen, regardless of anything else. Unless you're living down in grandma's basement next to the boiler, then you don't worry about any of that stuff.
But then if that's the
But
case, how are you online complaining about women?
you
can't have it both ways.
That's what I'm talking about. Because I talk about this often, and brother Nick Taylor, I see him in the in the chat room. We joke about this shit all the time. You hear them, they be on the mic talking, and you can hear you hear that boiler in the background. So they're in the basement. All right. They're in the basement, but you can hear the boiler. All right. You're close enough to it that we can actually hear it in the background.
Yeah,
but
wow.
at the same time, they're giving you this whole spiel about manhood. Like, wait a minute. You're living in grandma's cellar, but you're the expert on manhood. That kind of stuff to me is just, you can't even describe it, man. At this point, that stuff is beyond describing. It's like the only thing you can do with that kind of shit is ignore it at this point. But one thing I know you're into is the video animation. You see, I stole some of your shit and put it on my screen. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna run this when Brother A1 come on. So I know you're into the video thing. Do you think that we need more video elements? Should our video elements be better? As a video guy yourself, are we slipping? Are we slipping on the video content?
Okay, so maybe I read that first question you asked me the wrong way, but I hope you don't mind that. Let me give my thoughts on that. I mean, you're saying production value of if you're a streamer, if you're a YouTuber within this space, or just in general?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, of course, I'm always going to say step it up. I mean, that's why obviously you've seen my kind of recent wave. I've been more active within this space. And part of that was, if I'm going to be more active, be more consistent, then hold on, let me really get in and do some graphics. Let me build a new intro, because I do this stuff for a living, like motion graphics, videography. This is what I do. So I knew if I was going to really push for real, YouTube, Black Manosphere, whatever, I'm still got to come looking halfway decent. And this ain't even my craziest work. This is something I kind of, I don't want to say threw together, but I knew I was going to come with something tight, kind of stun a little, make it consistent, right? So it's a brand thing. I got my brand, I got my logo. Let me do this dark kind of theme and whatever, and rock that out, and imagery and whatnot for my streams and for my thumbnails and community tab. And then even this lighting setup, like people, been giving me props for the lighting setup. I know this, I mean, it's like a $3,000+ camera, and the lens is over $1,000. But again, it's because I do this kind of work. lighting setup and all that. I was like, I gotta come. I can't be half stepping. Ain't no half stepping. You understand what I'm saying? So I knew I had
Yeah.
to do that, but I had to do it for sure if I was going to be consistent. I can't be coming janky, but being like, yeah, I'm a professional visual media consultant and I do videography work and editing, but your streams looking janky, which they were for most of the time. But I'm taking it more seriously now. But grand scheme of things, yeah, if you can afford it, run that up. Have your production value looking as tight as possible. Hell yeah.
Hmm. Do you think that because there's been an there's been an argument, over this stuff, over the course of, I don't know, a year or two, about microphones, of course, um, video cameras, lighting, all that kind of stuff. Do you think that the quality or the lack thereof is what hasn't taken, I guess, this to, I don't know, another level for certain people? Because, they may have a bad camera, they may have a bad microphone, they may be doing streams on their phone. I don't know. Um, do you think that some people haven't crossed that line because of their production? Has that slowed some people from crossing that line?
I want to clarify what you mean by that line. What's on the other side of that line? The way you're phrasing.
Um, I don't know. Because there's many different levels to this, especially when you talk about YouTube, right? I mean, some of us got thousands of subscribers, some of us got hundreds of subscribers, some of us have, I don't know, 10 subscribers. And is that a thing? Or is it more so what you talk about, what your content is? Do you think that those things are distinguishable from each other? Like, can you have really, really good content but bad production, but have good production and bad content?
Yes. I mean, if you're talking about like number count and just kind of like your whole influence here within this space as a up and coming creator, if your whole setup looks dope, okay, great. Then it is going to be content. And then I mean, let's keep it a buck. This is an extension of the Black community. If you're coming out of this space, right? We're talking Black YouTube, right? Then Black
Hmm.
Manosphere. There's Black YouTube proper relative to the channels that rock with each other often. Then Black Manosphere specifically is half of that, right? A portion of that. And even that, certain factions, certain people don't rock with certain people. So it's even a smaller pool. If you want to come up within that, part of it's going to be a popularity contest, who you network with, who you get along with, who you agree with, who you disagree with. So there's that. Your production value can be A1, but if you're not sort of aligned with the right people, then there's the whole issue of people are competing for slots of time to stream hours long streams. I gotta go to somebody else's stream. There's a lot of dynamics to it. I would say having a dope video setup certainly is going to help that, but guaranteed it's going to be topics. Or I would say, in theory, if you have something else to offer that goes beyond some of those topics, that'll be received in various ways. But I don't know, I mean, the charisma of the person. There's a lot of, I mean, the way you're asking it now, I'm thinking about it more as I'm thinking of it like literally right this second. There's a few different dynamics, but it's certainly going to it ain't going to hurt your case to have a dope video setup. But then, yeah, ultimately it does become the topics.
Mm.
For me, it ultimately boils down to the topics. And are they topics that are going to be, or more or less pigeonhole you into just Black Manosphere, just Black YouTube, just one faction within the Black Manosphere? You see what I mean? Like, because you understand what I'm saying. There's factions, there's different crews, kind of, it's clicky in this thing. Let's keep it a buck,
Oh
right?
yeah, clicky, clubbish, cultish, all of that, all
Right.
combined, all combined.
So you gotta understand, if
So
you ask me a question like that, I'm a media guy, right? So I'm
yeah,
picking apart all it is from a standpoint of a media producer and all of the elements of it and the nuance of it. So my answer's long-winded, Sunday Rumble.
it's all good. We got plenty of time. So in your opinion, let me ask you, now that I have you here, what, in your opinion, what should we be talking about up here when we get up here and we turn this mic on and camera on and have all this stuff going on? What should we be talking about up here? What?
I mean, if you're gonna say black manosphere, then we got to be addressing all of the things that black men deal with, right? All of the things. And I would say prioritize the biggest issues, maybe the biggest threats. A man is part of masculinity is being able to create something, have skills, build resources before you even deal with a woman, before that's even introduced into the situation, right? A lot of young brothers don't even understand that concept. Before you can deal with a woman, be able to build, have resources, skills to get resources before you deal with anything else, and be able to secure those resources against outside threats from other men and from nature. Pretty simple. A lot of brothers have not understood that and not soaked that game because we are in the era of babies who had babies who had babies. We need to be addressing that, the biggest threats, common threats that black men are facing, and nurturing the idea of discipline and focus. Back to the skills. I would say if you're going to put it on a pie graph and get real mathematical and scientific about it, high percentage needs to be those things. If you want to talk about a WS system, white man holding me back, what are we going to do to thwart that? How are we going to sidestep that? Just talk about women 80%, 75%. I don't see how that's going to work out. If we want to talk black community, more marriage, more this, that, and the third, powernomics, you know what I mean? Like just Claude Anderson. We want to talk those things, countering the historical narratives, countering the anti-black male propaganda, feminism, all of this. How are we going to counter all of that if there isn't some individual resource base from each individual man? So then we can have a bunch of men that come together in a space, in a sphere, and each man not be one of the weak links in the chain. It
True.
speaks for itself. Like, what are you on? What are you doing? I want to be able to walk in the room and be like, what you doing? What you doing? Here's what I got. Like I do in the real world. And I've had a lot of success in my life doing it. Only thing I wish I would have did it sooner, aka younger. So I come in here, younger brothers in here. I want to kick that game down and give y'all a head start. Let me be that uncle, that OG that'll kick you down that game. But nah, we just want to run around and be at the mercy of our hormones. Okay. So then we stay where we at as a people.
All right. Agreed. Agreed. And shout out to Brother Supreme with the $5 super chat. He says, salute to AM1 from one creative to another. People can say what they want, but the work speaks for itself. What's up,
Appreciate
X? What's good, Brother Supreme? Yeah, man. I mean, you two, you and him, because Brother Supreme does a lot of work for me. He does a lot of my graphics, all that fly shit y'all see. I hope y'all don't think I'm doing that shit, because I'm not. I'm not. Brother Supreme has done a lot for this channel, man. I mean, too much to even talk about. So, I mean, you two guys, man, are like two of the most creative guys that I've seen, when it comes to this video, graphics, and all that kind of stuff. So, definitely have to shout both of y'all out on that. And when you drop coins on this platform, you get this. I appreciate you dropping your hard-earned coins on this platform. Yeah, because when I was down at your spot the other week, we were talking about that. We were talking about how, there's not enough diversity slash creativity. And I said, the market calls for it. Is that the problem? Does the mind of the market need to change? Because the brothers are going to fill the gap, right? They're going to fill whatever the market screams for. That's what brothers are going to give them, right? So is it a question of doing a lot of the same material, or is it just that you can't change the mind of the market? Is the market demand the problem?
Yeah, man. No, when you came on my channel, we talked about that. Like it was gems, and I thought about it a lot. Listened to it even back, and just listen to all the perspectives from you, Ram, Erica, Nick. A lot of people was on that panel dropping gems, game changer. Shout out to everybody that was on that. Real interesting. Like it is supply and demand. Ultimately, people want to come for certain things, and let's face it. Like if this is a microcosm of the greater macro of black men out here, a lot of brothers are defeated and beat down and broken, and it's like we want to come do with the entertainment thing here. We want to do the escapism thing here. there is certain levels of soaking game, but there's certain levels of trauma bonding, whether brothers want to face that or not. But on the other side of that is somebody gonna come and be like, Renz, do motherfucker. You know what I mean? So it's like, let's do that. Because I've been broke struggling before. I understand what it's like to be nervous. I'm like, damn, I'm about to get an eviction notice at any moment. I've been there. I've done all of that, all of that, all of that, all of that. And I know for all the challenges facing black men, not having sovereignty and autonomy over your life, or you got to tear yourself out of bed and go get in traffic and go punch somebody's punk ass clock and deal with coworkers, it is not fun. So we got to shift the narrative at least to where brothers have the consciousness, like you're saying, to want to absorb more. And we need those resources to be there. The stuff with women is always going to be there, but there has to be more, I think. That's what I suggested. A lot of people say, no, just fall back. So I kind of left it alone. Red Sings the Blues. You should check him out. He kind of reinvigorated the discussion within the
Oh
past
yeah,
week.
I've been on his show. He interviewed me a while back, and he's been here too. I
Okay.
like that. I like that young fella. Yeah, I
Right.
like
He
that
came
young
in and
fella.
said some interesting things. He was like, he said the what now phrase. And I guess that's something kind of Edward Anderson brought into the sphere, the what now conversation. Like, okay, after we deal with the women, we understand what we can get, what we can't get. If we go on SYSBM, if we going to hop on a plane with a passport, okay, beyond that, what now? Because if we're countering anti-black male propaganda, if we're aggregating brothers, aggregating them to what? Now what? Are we putting brothers into a place to have real power over their lives? And part of that is money, and part of that is skills. So it's going to be, what are you on? What are you about? If there's less jobs, automation, the rise of tech, you better get ahead of that. Don't be 43, which I am, scrambling, trying to figure it out. I'm already ahead of the game. I'm already here. I can't go nowhere but up. You know what I mean? I don't need YouTube. I don't need anything. As long as I got this in a computer anywhere in the world, I'm good until, I don't know, they AI this to where you don't need cameramen anymore or editors sooner or later, but you do this or something similar and you take that and leverage that towards other investments and you figure this out, because one way or another, they come in for your freedom and you better have money, get more freedom. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, you got to do that, woman or no woman, you got to do that. So, I mean, I know it's not fun, it's not entertaining to talk about that, but I feel like that needs to be there for my place here. I can do reaction videos. I can get into the nigga ish. You know what I mean? I can do all that because that's all me. I can roast. I can do all that. We can do reaction videos. I want to make it entertaining. So I get it. I read the room. I know where I'm at. But I want to create more of an educational opportunity now. I thought about it and I've been talking about it over the last month or so. Uh, Offering video editing classes, like doing online kind of setups, like Zoom class or however. I'm still working it out, like some of the details, but basically saying, hey, pull up here. If you get Adobe Illustrator, get or Adobe Premiere. That's the main thing I use, the Adobe stuff. If you get that and get a trial, or it's things like $9 a month, if you just get that, come into this and I'm gonna show y'all how to use the interface and just set it up and do classes. Now that's something that anybody can do, self-taught, and I know you can because I did it myself. Everything that I do now, built a career for myself, doing consulting work, video work, editing, motion graphic design. Y'all can see some of our projects. Like, I'm not the best in the world, but I do enough to where I get money here in the Bay Area with these tech companies and whatnot, and independent artists, independent business owners. I do my thing. Anybody can do it. I'm not special at all. So it's not like I'm on some high horse, gassed up, whatever. I'm outright telling you anybody can do it. The younger you are, do it. Have the time, have the focus, have the discipline, which it does take to do editing. Is tedious. Supreme will tell you it's tedious work. You got to be cut out for it. But if you do it right, you can make some good money, man. Create some freedom for yourself. It's a perfect thing for young brothers out here. And it's fun for the dudes that want to rap and do the rinky dink rap career. Great. Be the dude behind the camera. It's more money. Diversify your skill set, man. That's what I want to bring to the table. And I want to do it entertaining and, meet people where they're at. We can do the nigga ish and have fun. I got a video coming up where I'm going to do some reaction videos and still try to give it from a media perspective of how media is influencing young people's minds and mental illness. A lot of stuff people are dealing with, right? A lot of stress, a lot of issues. But overall, it's going to come back to having skill sets.
So let me ask you this: being that you're a professional, you've been doing this for a while. I mean, is there opportunities for younger brothers to get involved in multimedia and photography and videography? Are the opportunities there? I know you've been doing it for a while. You're like an old master at this, but what about the young brothers who may not be, as media savvy? Is it opportunities for brothers to do, get involved with the multimedia game? Are the opportunities there?
Look, man, to your original point, you asked me about YouTube and brothers like really running up a channel. Um, does their production value help the channel? Absolutely. This YouTube thing is the ultimate multimedia production training wheel situation. And to answer the rest of your question, what is the market oversaturated? By far, it's not. And I've been doing this kind of work like freelance style, independent firm style. If I need to scale up and hire out, I've paid other folks money to do other projects, handed them off certain things. So operating as a small firm, I'm just scratching the surface. I've been hired to go around the country, around the world. Like first time I ever traveled out of the country, it was on gigs. I've been to Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, Tahiti, Mexico, just different states domestically. Paid gig, getting paid to go places, hotel, all that. Like, yeah, it's like that. And I'm just still scratching the surface on it. Yeah, oh yeah. It's totally doable. That's why I highly recommend it for young folks out there, like for the young brothers out there trying to make their way and figure this out, men and women. But if we're gonna talk manosphere, young brothers out there in your 20s. I'm 43. Imagine if I was doing this like I'm doing it at 23, bruh, stop it.
Hmm. Well, Brother Supreme has a question with the $5 super chat. Appreciate that, Brother Supreme. He says, question to AM1: have you ever found the spear draining to your overall creativity? Do you have to pull away sometimes to defrag?
No, only because like think of it this way. Since pivoting to doing this kind of work, and I just use the word freelance, right? Because I'm on my own, not some company that pays me every 2 weeks. I see everything as a networking opportunity. Now, it can be frustrating to the degree that, again, like in the real world, mixer event, I'll walk in a room, any room I walk in, club night, whatever, bar, whatever. We can talk, we can kick it, whatever. When we start talking, hey, yeah, what are you doing? What are you into? Oh, you're a business owner? Oh, tell me more. It's always going to go to that. So even in this space here, it's always going to go to what are you doing outside of worrying about the ratchet women. Beyond that, what do you do? G Dizzle, what do you do? Oh, Tech G. Oh, interesting. Keep it techie. What are you doing? Oh, Linux operating systems. Oh, what are you doing? Tell me more. How do we work together? How can we, you know what I mean? What are you doing? Run up a project. G was saying that on one of his streams, projects and ideas he's doing with the channel. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna hire AM1 to come out and do some video stuff and pay him his rate. Like he made it the point to say that. So ultimately, I see an opportunity like that. I mean, perfect example, based on O'Shea's panels and those other more back in the day ones. Erica Williams comes out here for a big networking event called Afrotech that was happening every year. Meet her in person, do a little interview with her, so she's seeing the camera gear, my setup's up right there in front of her, and then a month or so later, she's got me on a plane to San Diego and then to Washington D.C. and then to Atlanta. That's what I'm about. So I can say draining, frustrating to the degree that it's like, man, we're squandering opportunity here. Other than that, I do use it as somewhat of a, there's entertainment factor here. There's a knowledge based factor here. There's brothers chopping it up in certain discussions I resonate with to the degree like, oh, okay, I found some gems there. And then when it's, some of it's funny. Oh, they roasting up women, whatever. They roasting up some dude. They beefing. It's funny. They clowning. I'm with the effery, right? But then when it gets too stupid, it's like I got other stuff to do. There's a million other channels out here with stuff that suits my interest. We got real major threats in this world right now. I got to spend time doing that as well. So yeah, now I mean, to say draining, not so much. I don't put that much on it. Plus, I can just go to another channel. Frustrating to the degree that it's like, man, if we want to talk Black folks and any kind of upward movement in a collective way, then frustrating, kind of disappointing, but draining. Not that I give it that much energy, but I still see opportunity here. I was just telling G about that because I was just on a stream with him and just seeing strategies on like, how do I at least offer something on top of what I'm saying. Like I want to see more discussion about the resource skill element. So how do I make that more available? So I want to offer more along those lines. But yeah, just to answer the question, not be too long with it. Go ahead.
All right. Appreciate that, Brother Supreme, with another super chat. Appreciate that, my brother. Uh-oh. A big coin drop on the platform. Appreciate that, Brother Supreme. So, my thing is this. Like, when it comes to, multimedia, right? I mean, obviously, you got to have some type of skill, right? I mean, everybody's not going to be able to jump out there and do what you do, right? They're not going to be doing, because you've been doing this for how long? How long you been doing this?
Well, technically, I first was really putting hands on cameras in like the late 2000s. So like 2008, 2009. That was the first time
Okay.
I really had like, yeah, but
Okay. So
whole
you've
other.
been at this for a long time. So what would you tell brothers who want to get into, like, the video game and the multimedia game? And I mean, where would they start? What would you tell them to start? If you want to get started, they come to you, they say, "Hey, look, brother AM1, I'm into this video game and I'm into this multimedia. Where do I start?"
Well, on Thanksgiving, my young nephew, he asked me about the video game like this and how I do it and whatnot. And my first thought was, well, go on YouTube, because that's literally what I did. Like my second iteration of really pushing this as a career for myself, aside from, because I came up with hip hop stuff. I used to rap, I used to make beats, I used to throw events. I was doing like people's flyers and posters. Then I started doing my own events, doing tattoo type artwork for people. But even growing up, like graffiti style stuff, anime style stuff, Marvel, DC comic style stuff. So that was the progression. I always knew I wanted to be an artist, visual artist when I growed up. When I grows up, I want to be an artist. But now I am. I literally am doing what I wanted to do, but I'm doing with motion pictures. So it's video, motion graphics. I have a blast doing that. If you want, I can give you a sneak preview into something that's a hybrid of everything we're talking about. I was going to show G, but we're going to make it be an exclusive for T.P.O.T. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
if you want to do it,
Uh-oh.
that's what I'm gonna do. So you, so no pressure.
Let's do
But
it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's
yeah,
do it.
I'll share my screen and show you something that's in development literally right now. So I just had a dope session with my boy, and I'll tell you the rundown with this offering, with one of my latest and most exciting projects. This could be a banger, like a career changer. Um, but yeah, man, go on YouTube first of all, because there's a bunch of free tutorials and information about how to deal with these things. Like I researched the hell out of this thing on YouTube, so you can learn about cameras, you can learn about video editing, all the settings, all that, what each of these buttons means, the whole concept of how lenses work, focal lengths, all this stuff. Man, I literally sat for hours and hours and days learning about this, about motion graphics, what the optics means, the millimeters, all the little stuff, the buttons, what it all means, understanding it, and then taking it out in the real world. Now, of course, and what? I ain't got money like that, man. I only work minimum wage. I can't just get a camera like that. Okay, learn editing first. There's free editing software out there. Like any excuse somebody give me, stop. I'm gonna pull the rug from under that excuse. Go learn for free. Free YouTube University. Stop it. Because you try to tell me you can't do it, I'm gonna smack you in your face and say, I did it. High five your face. High five your face. Stop lying. Focus. Discipline. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? High five. Give me a high five. High five face. Stop playing. Start with the editing. So here's what I'm gonna do. It dawned on me, and I think I was just talking about this with G. But yeah, I'm gonna offer my own training classes. I'm gonna do it yeah, bring everybody into a group, show people how to do it. So when that's up and running, if somebody asks me, I'm gonna be like, oh well, pull up on my Telegram group, pull up on my website, come get in my groups. I'll get you in the game, show you how I do it. Yeah, man. I mean, video editing in and of itself, um, it's actually not that hard, more than it is just tedious. And you got to really have focus and discipline to block out other things. But it's art, right? It's art and it's technical, but you're just cutting up clips. You got to find the best clips. It's tedious. And it is a matter of focus and patience and having a lengthy attention span and delayed gratification, all things that a lot of these Negroes don't have. So maybe we're back to square one. But if you have that focus, you can do it. You
Yeah,
know what
well,
I'm saying, X? You know what I'm saying?
well, this is the thing. I mean, some of our people just let's be honest here, man. Some of our people are just never going to amount to shit. Um, they're just not. Some of our people, they're just not going to amount to shit. I mean, we have to be honest here. And I see Brother Macon in the chat room, a brother that I respect the hell out of, because what Brother Macon does is he gathers those young folks that have the potential, and he works with those young folks. All right. Y'all need to get down there, man, and check out Brother Macon, man. Brother Macon is doing great
Herbert
work.
nerds.
I mean, he does great freaking work. All right. I mean, on the ground,
Right.
not on here, not on this damn laptop here. I'm talking about on the goddamn ground where the real work is going to take place. So shout out to Brother Macon. And what he does is he grabs those young folks, man, with potential, right? And he takes them and he just works with them and he does things with them and he teaches them and he trains them and the whole 9 yards. All right. And I respect it. The reason why I respect it, because I'm a true believer that that's where it starts. All right. You can't train an old ass Negro like me. You ain't training me to do nothing. I ain't listening to your ass. All right. And not only that, people like me, we represent the past. All right. I'm a grandfather. I represent the past. And I'm cool with that. All right. I don't have a problem with that at all. Because I know when we talk about black folk future, we're talking about the young ones, man. We ain't talking about old freaking Negroes like me. I mean, I'm a grandfather. I have grandbabies. I mean, baby babies. Like one of my grandsons, he's 4 years old. 30 years from now, he'll be 34. 30 years from now, I'll be dead. So, how am I the future? They are. And that's what I respect about Brother Macon the most, is that he works with the youngins. I think a lot of us, we spend a lot of time trying to raise people who are already grown. Okay? You're 25, you're 30 years old, Negro, you grown. All right? I can't raise you. And I can only train you if you have an open mind for the training. Because, see, I can't change your mind. Your mind has to already be open, willing to accept what's coming in it. But children are different. You can change the mind of young folks. All right? They're not done growing yet. They're like clay. You still kind of shaping them, you know? And I think that's where it all begins. So let me ask you, man, could you see yourself doing like what do they call it? The master classes on they do this thing called master class where they teach people X, Y, and Z. Could you see yourself teaching younger folks? And when I say younger folks, I don't mean people who 25, maybe people who are 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, young folks like that. Could you see yourself doing that?
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. That's part of the goal. Like when I really wrap my mind around the idea of this as an offering, right? Because this is media, right? This is visual media creation. This is beyond content creation from that sort of watered down word phrase of content creator, turn on a phone, turn on a webcam and talk. And I'm a content creator, Instagram, TikToks. I mean, really building this stuff out. This is production. But when you do this and you do it right, this is like mind control, whether for good or for bad. Like it's that serious. So not only is it important to theoretically learn how to do this like as a career path, but it's almost more important to do it so you reverse engineer how it's done, so you understand the social psychological impacts of how it affects you, right? So if you can start younger folks off on learning this stuff, it's even better because they'll be less likely to be affected with those youthful, malleable minds, like you were just illustrating, to be sucked into some of the social conditioning and the psychological stuff that's bringing a lot of young folks into depression into their teenage years and later years and whatnot, and stunning their emotional psychological growth, stunning their intelligence. So yeah, no, as far as teaching that's what would be the ultimate goal. It's just a matter of, I mean, my niece, 13, she got an iPhone, she got a tablet, she's on a tablet every time I'm over there. She's on her tablet the whole time. So yeah, I want to get to the younger folks. Absolutely. Um, the same people that could be sitting on a room that's my age, my mom's age, could be, on a laptop and okay, here's Premiere. You take the video files, you put them in, you drag them over here, you cut them up, you get them ready, you put them on a timeline, you sync it up this way. Who asks questions? Yeah, no, I would love nothing more to be able to do that. I mean, that's like a gift that keeps on giving on so many levels. And yeah, if we can start with the baby, start with the young folks, to certain degrees, I've done it here when I used to have my office over downtown. But that was just a transitional point. Ended up giving up the office, and then I started, hopping on planes, flying more. But I do want to go back to that. And obviously, with the whole, pandemic thing, that creates some issues where I'm at. A lot of people are fearful, so doing it in person, super difficult. At one point, right before this all started, there was a high school in West Oakland called McClymonds. They had me come in for a speaker series. It was going to be a series, but I only did one because everything got shut down. But talking to the youth there. So yeah, it's a lot of power and benefit to get with the minds of young folks and help them develop and understand this as a career path. And again, because it's super empowering to understand how it influences their minds, you're less likely to be at the mercy of trying to jump through hoops, getting the hottest new thing that comes out. You'll be thinking more of, how do I make the new thing? And how do I shoot videos for my new thing that I'm making? That whole shift in your consciousness when you understand how this stuff works and you understand the power of this stuff, like very powerful on so many levels. Just to be immersed in that level of technology, whether it be the cameras, understanding optics, or of course, it's going to force you to deal with computers, interfaces. You get into Premiere. Adobe Creative Cloud has like 20 plus something crazy apps. You can do so much stuff. Graphic design, writing books, putting books together like InDesign, 3D stuff, animation. It's just so much. So just, exposure to that at a younger age, man, I would love to be able to do a lot more of that. And we can, use online spaces to do it. So as I expand out the instruction element of sort of my AM1 Creates branding, that's going to be a big push. Like, I'll let parents know, like, hey, are you interested in this? Not really. Okay, well, do you have kids? I mean, talk about these single baby mamas out here all day. Okay, well, have your kids pull up. Just come let Uncle AM1 teach him for a couple of hours.
Yeah. Plus, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it just be great to have these young brothers have cameras in their hand instead of pistols? Imagine that.
I actually just thought
Imagine
about that.
that.
The shooting's been going crazy here in Oakland, man. So I even thought about that because I'm working with a guy who's doing stuff with the city. Well, a few people that do stuff with the city, and maybe putting together some kind of a nonprofit, some kind of initiative, fundraising for it. I pretty much quarterback the whole thing, but yeah, can we do guns down, cameras up, or something like that? I thought about something.
Yeah. Let them be shooting video instead of shooting each other. How
Right,
about that?
right.
Shoot some video instead of shooting each other. And brother Macon said, he said, brother AM1, we got to talk. I'm trying to create an editing and coding camp for urban nerds. So, I mean, you're the guy. You are the guy to talk to. You know.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely down for that too because that's the thing, George. It's kind of a new development for me. It dawned on me just closing out the year. I don't know, some kind of energies with that, like just kind of new reset, new pathway going into my me having to adapt my career because in certain instances, if somebody says, I need you out on this gig and we need you to go to this place, and I get to that place and they say, you can't come in this place, I had to figure that out, right? I either got to move or I got to pivot. So I want to do more online things. So yeah, it's making me just think of more of what I can do here. Hence why I've been more active on YouTube and even within the Black Manosphere. But as I was just talking to G, he was like, man, don't pigeonhole yourself. Ty City was saying the same thing. Ramil was saying the same thing. Like, just do something that reaches overall of YouTube, which of course I get it and I can do, but I was just, warming up here, get my training wheels on, so to speak, and just running up this channel. But to that point, definitely want to expand that, tap in with brothers like shout out to Q Butter with this Zayax, obviously George,
Mhm.
Urban Nerds. I mean, rocking with George. I talked to George on the phone like we've talked over the years offline. So that's a no brainer. And then, yeah, just to be able to build out those kind of things. Dylan, one of my clients, he does educational stuff in schools. We were talking about like sort of piggybacking off what he's doing with his courses and his instructional programs, getting people more in the mix, the students, the young folks in the mix with this content production element of it. So there's just so many opportunities, whether that be in person or online. So just changing my whole thinking more to this teaching instructional note. The more I've been thinking about that, literally, it hasn't even been a whole month. I'm just seeing the opportunities there towards like, why didn't I think of this before? Like I was tripping. So yeah, definitely want to tap in with the brothers that's already getting it up and running. George, all right, rock with George. Was on the panel with Q Butter. We talked about a similar thing. So that's definitely the formula for sure. There's so much power in that. I mean, to the point where it's dangerous to, if you want to talk about some kind of establishment or whatever, that's the last thing they want. Is more black folks getting gamed up on how media works. That's their biggest weapon against us.
It's true. Very, very true. I agree. I think there should be more black folk involved with media. Um, not only would it create opportunities, it could, maybe it can be somewhat defanged if you have, more black folk involved in it. I mean, you know, the best way to fight something is from the inside, right? The old
Right.
Shang Tzu art of war, right? Best way to fight the enemy is from the inside out. So, but that's for another night. So well, you said you wanted to share something, right?
Oh, okay.
You said you
So
wanted to
so
share something, right? So you can go
yeah,
ahead if you want.
I'll knock that out real quick. Is if you're trying to keep it exactly at an hour, and I understand if you do.
Oh no,
Um,
no, no. I'm shit. I'm old, but I don't have nothing to do tomorrow, so I'm good.
okay. Oh no, yeah. I just didn't know if you keep them super formatted, but yeah. All right. So talked about this skills and resources thing within this space for years. Talked about keep your freedom, don't have oops babies, don't breed struggle. You got a lot of pushback from a lot of things I brought into the space. Who's this light skinned Negro coming in thinking yada yada yada, light skinned Negroes thinking. I'm saying that halfway jokingly because I've been getting it my whole life. Um, and even more recently, skills and resource talk, seeing how media is being weaponized against black men or men, like with that darkest you thing, just to reference that for a second. Should men even be allowed to have podcasts? Like it literally said that in the post. And then they're
Yeah,
talking about black male spaces um, being akin to white extremism and just the hyperbolic nature of what was being written up about that.
yeah.
We need to be able to
The
counter that,
the
right?
the misogyny,
Right.
so
Right.
much misogyny.
Calling for censorship of any American voices counter to the First Amendment is all bad. But if you want to level certain claims towards black men and silence certain voices, that's just unacceptable. So brothers have told me in streams, the sphere is all about countering anti-black male propaganda. I'm like, okay, let me sit with that for a minute. The darkest hue thing, talked about that. Do we want to diversify the topics more? Do we want to step the game? Do we want to make it to where this space is unassailable? Right. That's my thought process. That's how I move in life. I'm in hyper fake woke Bay Area, right? You got to watch what you say because somebody, regardless, will their little feelings get hurt and they want to weaponize that against you. Everything I'm saying is all media driven, right? These issues, these narratives, whatever, all this hyper liberal fake woke stuff. I'm in ground zero of that. And so I think like that strategically. So when I see things like darkest hue, oh, they're weaponizing these mainstream media talking points and trying to level that here with at this space, that's a bad look. Okay. I talk about it. Brothers say, nah, it's not that serious. Don't trip. Even though the shade room is talking about what Fresh and Fit said, all that. Okay, I'm watching. Brothers saying it's cool. Okay, I'll fall back. Red Sings the Blues comes back and says, the now what discussion. Brothers need to move in silence. All of a sudden, brothers are like, maybe we do need to adapt that more. So maybe the space does need to be doing more. I'm like, okay, right. When I backed off it, put that on Red Sings the Blues. That ain't on me because apparently I was making the block hot. I was making people
Mhm.
uncomfortable. With all that said, doing the kind of work that I've been doing for these years. The Bay Area has a lot of super interesting people doing great stuff. There's a lot of black men who are doing great stuff here. Obviously, this is a big tech hub. A lot of the talent from around the country that, brothers who got the MBAs, that the small percentage, high percent or low percentage guys, but are doing high level things. I found myself in very interesting scenarios working with tech companies and just creators, like basically brothers doing very interesting things. And even let's take O'Shea, for instance, very interesting brother. Let's even take Kevin Samuels. Like, some people agree with him or not. I think he's, for the most part, doing some good things. We have very interesting brothers here. I thought about a brand concept with a good homie of mine that I was doing graphic design, visual streetwear stuff with for years. And we came up with this concept. Very interesting brothers. I just had a design session with him earlier where we mapped out and finalized the logo for a new offering that we're going to be serving up called Very Interesting Brothers. So if you like, I can share my screen and show you some of what we are developing on that. Let me see. Let me
Absolutely.
set up for the screen share. And I'll show you kind of what we're building out. Yeah, do I still have that there? Let me just shift some stuff around. Let me do a screen share. All right, so you got to bring that in X, but I'm going to move this over to that screen. Make it fit. So what we're looking at right here is literally the After Effects session that I was working on right after we were working on this logo design session. So we start with the branding element first, right? And again, this is Adobe After Effects. It's kind of stuff that I work in all day, every day. This is where the magic happens. All the graphics and stuff you see, SKC knows what I'm talking about. I'm sure he uses After Effects. I hope he does, or whatever gets it done. But motion graphics, man, this is my ish right here. Like, I love this. Like, I do graphic design, video, but motion graphics, this is what I wanted to do when I growed up. Very interesting brothers. So you guys are seeing it first on Brother X, the Prophet of Thought series. T.P.O.T. Very interesting.
A T.P.O.T. exclusive, Negroes.
There we go. That's what I wanted with the echo joint, though. So yeah, man. Just to show you this. So this is the whole point. I have a pretty detailed resume of really dope stuff that I've shot with some very interesting brothers, right? Just rolls right off. Very interesting brothers, like high level guys working in VC firm type stuff to brothers that are doing streetwear type stuff, but who come from a tech background and got MBAs and, doing STEM microprocessor type stuff, but doing tech related projects. We got brothers doing like really dope stuff as far as like educational work. Like the brother I was telling you about, doing stuff in schools. Some of the stuff I actually probably saw it featured on streams with my guy who does a Black Literary Collective. So shot some stuff for this group and able to build out their projects for them. So I have so much content, so many rounds in a mag ready to rock. And I was like, let me do this. Let me say, we're going to counter anti-black male propaganda with a whole platform where we're just featuring very interesting brothers. This is inspired from my dealings here in the manosphere and some of my critiques, and the fact that this was already my pathway anyway. Now, in general, doing the kind of work I do, I'm doing stuff with men and women, but it just so happens that I'm in a place where it happens to largely be brothers that are really good guys, some fathers, some, husbands, but they're pushing an issue, doing really interesting creative stuff that it's, so I'm like, let's show more of that. So just in case we get something like this Darkest Hue stuff rocking more, if this is in any way associated with the manosphere, if nothing more by extension of myself and my presence here, or when I drop this channel, if the brothers want to uplift this, or, featuring some of the brothers from this space, it's a nice crossover between the work that I've been doing in the real world for years and some of my critiques or where I would like to see things go here within this space. So very interesting, brother. So this is my offering to say, okay, so AM1, well, if you don't like what's going on here, make your own algorithm. Well, why don't you just do whatever? Okay, cool. Let's do it then. Because this is what I do. And I already got content to rock it out. So we gonna see what it do. So y'all look out for this. You heard it here first. Prophet Thought Series, Brother X. With AM1.
Right, Negroes. You heard it here
Very
first.
interesting, brothers. That's coming soon. That channel is
Don't you
going
be
to be
forgetting it either.
Channel
Go
gonna be
ahead. Go ahead.
rocking. Channel gonna be dope. We're gonna be highlighting brothers from this space and just from all around the world. Like I have a whole lot of stuff that people just haven't even seen. But we're gonna be pushing that, and then we're gonna be pushing A1 Creates artboards and timelines. That's my other setup where I'm gonna be doing instructional work for people. So yeah, bring from my age to older to younger. Definitely want to aim that at the younger folks to the point of what Brother X was mentioning, and really get people schooled up on how to build out this kind of stuff. So yeah, man, I'm super excited about the roadmap for 2022. This VIB thing is about to be super dope. Artboards and timelines will be super dope. My other channel, AM1 Creates, I'm gonna just be showing all of my projects. So it's just nuts right now. Like I'm in such a great place, just overall health game on point, running more, getting better sleep, eating right. I'm in a good place, man. I'm in a good place. I'm energized.
Don't forget, man, to because I know you got a wrench in here. Don't forget to spam your channels, whatever channels you have, whatever website, whatever you want to put in there. All right. So everybody know where to find you and check out your stuff and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you do that. And those of you who know or have the link to Brother AM1's channel, if you got a wrench, please spam the brother's channel in there if you don't mind, Negroes. If you don't mind.
Let me see here. Oh, I'm trying to get in here. Yeah, somebody grab my link and throw it in there if you could.
If you don't mind, Negroes.
If you don't mind.
And shout out to my brother. Brother Art and Style is in the house. Y'all need to get down there and check out Brother Art as well. Art's channel is growing, man. And it's very calm, but like 4-5% of the time it'd be some knockdown drag outs going on down there. But that's very limited, man. Maybe like 3 or 4% of the time. It'd be some knockdown drag outs going on down there. But the other 95% of the time, it's really, really mellow, man. It's like being at a jazz club. So get on down there and check out my brother Art the Style, man. Make sure you do that. Make sure you do that, Negroes.
Let me flash this one more time, Exo. My bad.
No, go ahead. You got it.
So no, I was just throwing this back up here real quick so everybody can see. Seeing it here first. I was trying to make it render out so you can actually see it animate. Let me see. I just don't want the feedback and stuff. Let me see. Well, I guess that's fine. It's not too loud because you can hear that music that's playing right as it's rendering. I mean, that's the interesting thing. Like you can hear how like After Effects is rendering it on the fly right now. Mm-hmm. Even the music is in slow motion, but like that's literally the process it goes through. So it has so much stuff going on the screen that the computer has to like render out like a preview of it. So if I slide it back here, it'll kind of already play faster. So we designed a logo, really got that dialed in earlier today, and then automatically went into getting like a little motion intro built out for it. Fully custom logo, fully custom motion graphics. That's how.
So is this going to be a new channel? Is this a channel that already exists? Is this something coming, or is it something that already is here?
No, this is coming.
Okay.
Like basically, this was the linchpin thing. Like we always start with the branding. Obviously, AM1, I've been rocking this. These used to be my old graffiti tag, one of my little tag names. But and it's just my initials. But AM1 Creative Consulting, that's my main overarching thing. So this will be like a subsidiary of that. And this is partnered with a good homie of mine, black man, father, all that good stuff. And we just want to represent for the brothers and be like, look, come for us, and we're gonna show you something real empowering. And we don't want to hear none of the nonsense because it's very interesting. Brothers doing interesting stuff. So yeah, new channel, everything, all social media. We running this up. Like we running this all the way up. Like this is we about to flex this because we have content that's already ready to go, and other people like known names that are pretty up there, pretty big, and it's gonna make some noise. It's almost undeniable. It's almost infallible. Like there's no way it won't make some noise. And I definitely want to show love to this space and run it up through this space and let brothers know, like, yeah, anyone rocks with this space. So, let's say this blows up and does some pulls a halfway Kevin Samuels move, right? And I say that relative to how big he got so fast. I want brothers to be able to point at that and be like, oh yeah, that's M1. He, that's the thing that they. A lot of the motivation for this came from this space. So I want brothers in this space to feel some, pride and run this up as well, because this definitely comes from here. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Very interesting, brother. So yeah, I can unshare that now, but just wanted to show you that. So that's what I was talking about. That's my action motivated on my thought process on this space and what I want to do, and showing people the kind of work that I do and kind of stuff we build out. So we build concepts, we build intellectual properties, we build ideas like that can be implemented and deployed in the real world. And I want more brothers to understand how to wield that kind of power. Like, this is Black men doing something very interesting and elevating Black men that ultimately affects how we're seen as a people overall. So this is my offering to the community, since I don't have no children or nothing like that. You understand?
Well, I always knew that you were official, brother, and all that. But once I saw you on that photo shoot a while back with Lauryn Hill, I mean, that was it for me. I was like, yeah, this guy knows what the hell he's doing, and he's also somewhat connected. So let me ask you about that, because I've always wanted to ask you about that. How the hell did you get that? Like, I mean, do you and Lauryn Hill know each other? Do you what? You just connected to celebrities or something like that? I mean,
Well, that's the thing. The Bay Area is a big hub for like entertainment, right? That's a known thing in the industry. So we got, artists coming through here, and it's the thing, doing this kind of work, but doing event work. So that is another multimedia thing. So this is what really pushed me into this, from doing my own music stuff and doing art and whole productions around, promoting events, curating events, quarterbacking the whole thing. And then I would have guys come in and, shoot recap videos, and have a guy come in and shoot photos. So when I was heavy on Facebook, I'm like promoting stuff, and it's just swarm. So it's this multimedia experience. The day of the event, I got all these DJs, everybody's promoting it, everybody's seeing my branding, and then the videos after the fact, and it's like, oh, everybody gets to relive the whole event. People's loving it. And I'm just like, oh, this multimedia thing, I never understood what it could be. And I started realizing the power of it. But the way I was flexing it, I didn't have a big team. So I turned everybody else into my team by way of using media to elevate them. So then they're motivated to share it. So it created this swarm to where everybody knew what I was doing in Oakland and the Bay Area. So then I have people of way bigger production companies. So there's a production company called Ankh Marketing. Now they've been rocking heavy for years, like doing all the big dope hip hop events. So they was rocking tough with Mos Def, Talib, and Lauryn Hill. They were doing all the big stuff, Fox Theater, Oakland, all the big venues in San Francisco. I fell on these guys' radar. So then I even collabed with them and did an event. We brought out the Last Poets. The Last Poets. So met the OGs, Abiodun, Oyewole, like all the brothers. We had them right down the street from me, like literally a quarter mile that direction at this spot called Era. We had the Last Poets, and I still have footage from that. I gotta go pull that out, because that's very interesting brothers right there. So man, just linking with these people doing this kind of work. And then when I started doing more video stuff too, they're like, well, everybody knew me from the events. Now you're doing video, you're doing motion graphics. So people are inviting me to these places. So that whole Lauryn Hill thing was an Ankh Marketing production, because that was on New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve or it had to be New Year's Eve, 2018 or whatever. I think it was 2018. And it hit me. That was like, oh, she's gonna do a meet and greet. Come through, come shoot it. And I'm like, say less. So I'm in there with supreme VIP access, because you saw in the video, I'm like right next to her, and I was like, laughing and joking with her. She's known for being kind of standoffish and being kind of, late to the joints and whatnot, and kind of, people say certain things about her, but I'm over there just acting a fool with her, because I'm like, I don't care. Lauryn Hill, you're a great artist and all that, but you just a woman. Can't relax.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in their face with the camera, fooling around, staying respectful, keep my distance, but she's not tripping, giving me the shots. So I'm over there teasing her, playing around with her, and she was like, she understood what I was doing, and I was having fun with it. So it was dope. So I don't know her like that, but the people who brought her there know me, and they always know I'm with a camera. and I'm shooting the whole thing, and she's cool, everybody's cool, had a blast. Obviously, a big career look. Damn, I wish I had that on this computer. I pull that up and show that right now. But yeah, that was fun. That Lauryn Hill joint, super cool. And then she did a show at the Fox Theater that night. And I was actually getting paid to go shoot at another event that night, so I didn't go to that show.
Mm.
Plus, I just wasn't tripping anyway. I've been to so many events. I've worked with so many different artists. I worked with Professor Griff, brought him out for an event in 2014. I was doing a gang of events that year. So much. I lost so much sleep, got sick a bunch because I was so run down. That's when I still had a regular punk ass day job. But that just the multimedia stuff, man, that put me in positions to meet a lot of artists. Dwelle, I don't know if you know him, a neo soul singer guy. Did some really cool stuff with him. There's a lot. It's too much to even think of, but pulling off more people. Bobito Garcia did an event with him. We flew him out, got some footage from that. Hip hop DJ icon, legend. You know Bobito, right? You know what I'm talking about?
I know
Yeah.
who he is.
Yeah. There's so much more. Rich Medina, man, so much. But some like underground music head, like I rock with a lot of different world music, a lot of these different vibes. But I'll pull up at a lot of different events, man. I pull up a lot of different things. And
Yeah, well, it would have to be a guy like you to get those gigs, right? And not anybody gets those gigs. You have to be somebody who's, in the industry, have the end to get a gig like that, right? Not anybody can go and shoot Lauryn Hill or Professor Griff or, I mean, you have to be in there, right?
well, that's the thing. That was my ultimate end, is because before I was doing video work professionally, I was doing a lot of events. You see what I'm saying? So I parlayed my janky rap career into doing events because I had the art multimedia element and I knew a lot of artists. So then I started promoting my own events. And that was a good look for the club venues. That was a good look for everybody involved. For the DJs, I'm getting DJs paid. I'm getting everybody looks. And I was throwing some of the most poppin'est parties in Oakland for like a good 2-year span. And it was back to back, multiple venues. Venues was mad. Like, why are you working with them? That's our competition. I'm like, y'all don't own me. Like, I was just putting it down and they couldn't stop me. So yes, I was that dude who was already doing that. So then when it came to me picking these things up, they already knew what it was. It was like, psh, man, look, okay, so we got so-and-so here. You trying to shoot, pull up and shoot this? We got some cash for you, but well, here's the budget we're working with. We want you to shoot it. Because it was almost like a piggybacking off of the popularity, so to speak, from the event stuff. It's like your name gets around. And it's like, yeah, we want that guy at the event, but then he's gonna film it too, and then he's gonna edit it and whatnot and do the motion graphics. Yeah, I was killing it, man. I
So
gotta say, I was doing some things.
do you always work by yourself? You don't have like an apprentice here and there, maybe somebody to carry your camera equipment? Do you have a caddy that carries your stuff around?
I've had people come out on events with me. Like that's the thing. Like I've had teams kind of come off and on. Like funny thing, like talking to G about that just earlier. Young folks, like everybody in the Bay. It's like maybe you've heard this. Everybody trying to get it. Everybody's on their thing. Everybody trying to hustle to almost to a fault, to where it's crabs in a barrel ish. I ain't trying to get with your program. I'm trying to do my own thing. So, whatever. So it's kind of like, hey, I can pay you to come to Fox Theater and we shoot and we got all access and it's Black Star and Dave Chappelle's there and it's yada yada yada. Come through to this. I'll pay you, teach you, and you ask some fly shit anyway. And it's like, now I'm gonna go kick and smoke weed with my friends.
Mm.
My baby mama won't let me. But I'll pay you.
What?
I can't. Yeah, bro. It's
Mama won't let me.
I got it. My lady, man. Like, yeah.
Now that's insane.
Yeah.
My
So there's a
baby
few things.
mama
I ain't
won't
trying to be up under your thing. I got my own thing. So, I can't put all my energy into what you're doing. I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing comparable? I'm not trying to compete with you. Like, look at what I'm doing. If you want to make it be a competition thing, what I'm doing is shitting on you. Stop playing. But some of these young dudes, you can't tell them nothing. They want to be young lions, but it's like, bruh, you still purring. Stop it.
Yeah, that's because that's crazy, man. That's just crazy. So I mean, this is so I'm assuming you're probably really, really busy with this stuff, like spring, summer, right? Because that's when more people are out and more people are doing shit. So is it full time for you? Like, I mean, do you rock all through the year? Do you get busier in the winter, busier in the summer? Like, I mean, how is it being like, a full-fledged multimedia guy? So obviously working for yourself. So are you is it a complete cycle of work for you? Does it have ebbs and flows for you? Or is it just constant money?
Yeah, man. I mean, to be honest, it gets to a point where rarely. Here's the thing: doing this kind of work, it keeps exponentially growing and doubling down on itself. So imagine you grind out, you have 4 clients, and they come at you periodically with work. You're putting stuff out, you're showing it, whether it's social media or they're showing it to other stuff or other people, right? One client shows stuff to other people associated in their field, whatever that may be. Oh, well, they hit me up, drop me email. So and so from this project or this nonprofit or this person, this firm saw the piece you did for us. Can we give you their email? They're interested in hiring you out for some work if you have availability. Sure, have them hit me. Bam. So imagine if every client that happens, it's exponential growth. Like it literally keeps building on itself. Not to mention that client who hired me that time is still a few months later going to come back. So it's building a client, ever expanding client list. Meanwhile, each of those clients keeps in a cyclical way coming back. So as far as the ebbs and flows, it just depends on how the overlap is. Plus, doing video work is one thing, but I do motion graphic work as well. So in some instances, I'm doing just whole motion graphic explainer videos.
Mm.
I ain't got to, I could be anywhere, and that's anywhere in the world. So we don't got to worry about seasons. It's rainy season, people ain't out, not really filming. Events are slower. Nah, round the clock. So diversifying into video and motion graphics, that's what fast tracked my whole situation. But to learn um to do video, you're not supposed to do it like that. Like in a sense, I do the work of what some bigger firms do, but myself, or I'll delegate out, subcontract out certain elements of what I'm doing. But it's not ideal. It's not for the faint of heart. Like you got to really get in and grind and do it. It is a trade time for money thing, but it's like I'm still working for myself. I can fire clients, fire your boss. I can fire my clients. I can be like, no, they hit me up. Do you have availability to do this project? No. Nah,
Mm.
I'm gonna take a I got a bunch of projects in front of me right now. I'm about to kill off the rest of January, February, going all the way in March. I'm taking off, and by taking off, I mean I'm going to Tulum. I'm all up and through Mexico, and I'm working on just my projects, and I'm shooting content for my artboards and timelines, my trainings. I'll be doing the training stuff because just pivoting more to doing what I want to do and having fun with it that way. Never off, always working, but on my own time, doing stuff that ultimately, look, if I hit the lottery right now for 300 million and I'm out of there, I would still be doing this.
Hmm.
It would just be my projects. Uplifting
Yeah.
black folks and black businesses. I would do the exact same thing. Let me just travel around the world and find black businesses and highlight them and shoot content. There it is.
Yeah, I've seen you in other places, man, over the course of the last, couple of years. I've seen you in quite a few places, man. And you're out there with your camera equipment and you're pretty much doing the same stuff you do right here in the good old US of A. But let me ask you this though, like, do you think you're successful at this because of the area that you're in? I mean, if a guy is in Boondock, USA somewhere, I mean, he may not be able to do a multimedia or videography or photography because he's surrounded by swamps and shit. So is is it is it because of the area that you're in that you're in? Well, let me ask you this. Let me rephrase this. Do you think you could be as successful as you are if you were like living in I don't know, freaking Podunk, North Carolina, or Podunk, goddamn Georgia, Alabama somewhere. Probably not, right?
Man, look, I feel like you're trying to downplay my skills low key. It's just about me. I did this. I do this anywhere. No, no, I'm joking, man. To be honest, no, 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 no. No, listen, obviously, man, I'm in the Bay Area. Stop it. Like, this is Tech Central. This is so many nonprofits, so many social justice type organizations. There's so many nonprofits on top of organizations and uh black movements, this, that, and the third. And the black folks click up even more because the gentrification and all this. So it's like, oh, we're gonna hire black, we're gonna do this, uplift black businesses. So just the default. If I go somewhere there's black folks, I'm winning off top. But here, Silicon Valley, like, man, work for these tech companies, construction companies, we got everything here. So this region certainly makes a difference. But yeah, somebody out in the swamp, do you have internet? You're out in the swamp, you got internet. Do you have a laptop? If you got internet, you got a laptop, you can still do visual media work. If not with cameras, you can do the editing. And if you can do the editing and get paid to do it, then you can get a camera. Now, make videos wrestling alligators. Run up a YouTube channel.
Yeah, right. Film, film,
There's always a way.
film. Yeah, film goldfish or birds or something like that.
There's always a way.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, if you were somewhere like New York, it would be similar, right? You'd still be able to rock out the way you rock out because of what you do for a living. Um, would you advise someone who's really into the multimedia? Say we got a young brother who's really into multimedia and he lived in Podunk, USA, and surrounded by the swamp. Would you advise that brother to maybe move to somewhere a little more media savvy, like California or New York, or you know, would you advise them to come up out the swamp, being that they're into multimedia, they have some skills, but they live in the swamp, so they can't do nothing. They're tired of filming alligators and swamp rats. Would you advise them to come up out of that swamp and maybe move to a bigger city?
Whoa. Whoa, wait a minute. Oh, okay, I see what I did. Oh, you could unshare. Oh, you already did unshare it. Wait, where am I at in this video? Oh, okay, I see what
No,
happened. Okay,
no,
no,
you
so
got to share it, and I can bring it through. If you got something you want to share, just share it. I'll
no, no,
bring it
no.
through.
I'm tripping. I was looking at YouTube because I was trying to respond and thank. Shout out to Freeman Journals. He dropped me a Cash App. So I was just thanking him. So I'm looking at the screen. I have the screen paused. So I was like tripping on what I was seeing on the screen. But we're good. Should you move? I mean, if you want to do this kind of visual media work, then yeah, you need to live close to a city that's popping with some kind of sports team that's big. If there is tech, is if there's a lot of if it's a hub for entertainment, like a Tennessee or something like a Nashville, like a New Orleans, anything that's a major metropolitan area that has things going, you could pop off. Or
Mm.
I mean, even certain smaller, you could go smaller scale and still pop off. I mean, if you get a decent contract with somebody, let's say you in some kind of out the way town, if you land the right contract, you good. Like sometimes that's better than juggling multiple projects. So it just kind of depends on how far out in the boonies you are. But I mean, at this point now, one of the biggest things you want to do is create a scenario where you have your own intellectual property. It's all about your own IP. That's the real deal. Like like where I'm at with this, I've built a client base and I have enough in the chamber, enough in the magazine to where I can only grow more just by sheer virtue of the kind of stuff I've shot in the names, right? Because this stuff is visual, right? So it's names. So if I show people, well, I shot Lauren Hill, or I shot this dude who's big in tech and VC field, people are gonna gravitate to me even more and be like, well, I want you to shoot my stuff just because you shot with this famous person who's you know what I mean? So that's great and all, but the real deal is if you can shoot dope content and make it look tight, but under your own auspices where you do it on your own time and you could build up a following. So similar like if you could run up a YouTube channel or something like that, that's really where
Mhm.
it's at because there's a certain level of independence and sovereignty with doing this kind of work, I get to pick and choose my gigs. But the ultimate thing is, if I broke my leg and couldn't go nowhere, I want to be able to rock out from home, and be good anywhere in the world. You know what I mean? Like if I got to post up. So
Well,
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
beauty of it, though, right? I mean, even when you don't feel too great, you can still work. You know, you can still work. If you break your foot, you can still work. I mean, what I do for a living, man. I fuck around and break my foot. That's it. I mean, I have to get other people to do other shit. And if I feel bad, I just ain't going no damn where. But
Because you do the auto work, right?
well, I'm a mechanical engineer.
Oh,
I work on power equipment.
oh,
Um,
okay.
you know, bulldozers, payloaders, commercial lawn equipment. We do motorcycles. We do outboard motors, commercial generators. We build, design, we modify, we do maintenance, we do repair. Um, this time of year, we're doing mostly maintenance and repair. Um, we have more, we got a little stuff that come in, but this type of year, we do more maintenance than anything else. We do like maintenance routes. We, check out diesel generators, commercial generators, backup generators for buildings and shit like that. We're doing more of that now than we do anything. But that's short lived because another month and a half from now, we right back at it, 12, 14-hour days. I kind of coast between November, the end of November till like the end of February, we kind of coast. We don't do too much. We do mostly maintenance more than anything else. We do a few designing jobs here and there, but we do more maintenance and repair when it gets cold. But once end of February, beginning of March hits, we right back at it. And one of my guys has COVID. So I'm just glad he caught that shit now and he didn't catch it like a month or two from now. Because I only have two full-time guys that work with me year round. Everybody else is seasonal. So, and one of my guys, he got the Omicron. So, there is that. So, luckily, thankfully, we not that busy. I told them if they get COVID during the busy season, they fired.
Then you can't fire them because then I don't know if the laws are like there, but man,
You fuck around and get COVID during the busy season, you're fired. Yeah, so that's what we got going on. I mean, during this time of year when it's cold, we only work like maybe 3, 4 days a week. Like this week, we work 3 days this week. But shit, man, by the time it get to be like April, May, shit, man, we working 6 days a goddamn week, 12, 14 hours a fucking day, man. It's crazy, but it's the life I signed up for. So, it is what it is,
so
It
then,
keeps
man,
food on
you
it keeps
have a
food on
specific
the table, goddamn it.
you have a specific shop that you work out of. It's your shop, or
Oh yeah, I have a garage. I used to have two, but I consolidated them because I have other shit too, man. I have because we do commercial cleaning, hardscapes and landscapes too. Actually I just received some equipment, some more lawn equipment not too long ago. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to kind of divide the business to the best of my ability because it's kind of hard to do the power mechanics and do the landscape hardscape stuff with the amount of people that I have. So probably this summer, because usually I bring on, pretty good amount of guys. I bring on maybe 6, 7, 8 guys. This year I may have to bring on more. May have to bring on 12, 13, 14 because the business is growing. It's expanding. And I need somebody running those commercial mowers and shit. And I also need crews out there doing the power mechanics. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do, man. I have to, and I don't have long to think about it. I got about maybe 2 months to figure it out, but I'll figure it out.
sounds like
We'll
good
figure
problems to
it
have to me. But so then, let me throw an extra monkey wrench in that whole situation. Is there anything
out.
that you do along any of those lines of business that can be captured as content and used for educational purposes or just sheer entertainment?
um, Probably. Well, the shit I do is boring. That's why I never really I mean, I put a little bit of shit on here that I've done. Not much.
No, what I'm
I
saying is this:
haven't done any of it recently. No. No.
even if it's boring, there are other people doing similar work at the very least in other cities, other states. So, are
Yeah, I
there
know.
things that you do in systems that you run that you could build out into course style material, or even just content that somebody or that you could monetize that are totally independent of like YouTube? You see what I mean? Like my mind automatically thinks, because not only do I do video work, I operate as a consultant. Creative consulting is the ultimate, like, umbrella. And then there's the production, the visual media production. So my first thought is, how can you take what you're doing and monetize it in some type of visual context? Which is exactly why I've been, flexing more on this YouTube thing. So that was my thought process.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about it. I mean, I actually have stuff already because I do film. I have some camera equipment and stuff like that. I do film some of the stuff we do sometime. Um, I just never thought about putting it up here. I mean, like I said, what we do is boring, man. No one wants to see that crap. Well, no one. I don't think anyone wants to see what we do, man.
No, but I'm saying somebody else who runs a shop like you, they'll find, you know what I mean? Like obviously it's a specialized market for who might want that content, but there's somebody who would see your processes and find value in that, right? Maybe not. I'm just thinking. I know there is, because if your business is growing, that means there's other people somewhere with a similar business that could be growing.
Yeah, yeah. I've thought about it. I mean, maybe this summer. Um, I don't know. I may do some editing of us going on the road because I know this year we're going to be doing a lot because I do stuff in other states too. I have contracts that I do in South Carolina, and I've also done some work in Virginia too. Um, I think the next time we do something on the road, I think I'm just going to go ahead and like tape the whole ordeal and maybe show people about bidding. I did tape. I went to an equipment auction last month, as a matter of fact. I went to an equipment auction and I did some taping. I did some I did some taping there. Um Not a lot, you know. I was showing everybody about the bidding process and bidding on equipment and stuff like that. I didn't tape a lot, maybe like I don't know, maybe 20, 30 minutes or so. I thought about putting it up, but I don't know. I just never been that enthused about putting up what I do. Like, I just never thought about putting it up, putting up what we do. I mean, because to me, I know I wouldn't want to see it, but like you said, maybe other people, would
I
like to
mean,
see
man,
it.
there's
But
channels
I
of
would,
people with hydraulic presses that just crush stuff.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I thought about it. I mean, because I do have some footage of the stuff that we do. I mean, I have quite a bit because I do film it sometime, like when we do engine swaps or we
Oh
do
man.
modifications. I do tape some of it. I don't tape a lot of it, but I do, tape some of it. If we're changing out circuits on like a commercial generator at a building, I do some taping. It all depends on what we're doing,
Mhm.
and I have quite a bit of footage. Maybe I'll put some of it up. I don't know. It
It
just
would just
never
be
crossed my mind. I kind of save it for my own, it's my own little archive, if you will. I never thought about putting it up here, to be honest. I never thought about it.
But I'm saying,
Never really
and
thought about it.
relative to discussions I'm having with the brothers, just the idea is, I'm gonna just say it straight up. Don't make it be facing here within Black YouTube, because obviously people aren't gonna understand it, but just in
Yeah,
YouTube
they ain't gonna
proper.
give a shit. They ain't
Right,
gonna give a shit about it here, man. They're
right,
not. I mean, that's probably why I haven't done it because I know people don't give a shit. But I mean, if I was to put it up, it'd probably be mostly white boys and gearheads like me, watching it. Because I'm
right.
just a gearhead, man. I've been working on shit and repairing shit and building shit, brother AM1 for 31 years. So I'm a blue collar working stiff. I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm out there on the ground with my guys. Uh, People think because I run this business, I've been running this business for 8 years. People think I'm sitting in an office somewhere, with my damn feet up, right? And money's just running in the door.
Oh,
No, no. I'm
you're in the
out there
trenches.
getting dirt. Yeah, I'm out there with my guys, man, and I'm under machinery and with insects crawling on me and the whole nine, goddamn it, hair full of wood chips and you know, getting bit and stung by fire ants and every fucking thing else. So I mean, that's what I do. All right. That's what we do. I mean, we work on, like I said, we work on bulldozers, we work on payloaders, we work on commercial lawn equipment, and a lot of our stuff is mobile. So we have to go to it. Okay. We have to go to it because it ain't always easy to get a goddamn 20 damn ton, 30-ton fucking piece of machinery to somewhere else. You can't just bring that to the garage all the time. So we have to literally go to it. All right. We have to go to where it is and get it running most of the time. All right. 90% of the time we work on site. So, I'm out there with my dudes, man, in the mud and the dirt and whatever. Told you, insects crawling on you, the whole nine, all of that. But yeah, I've never really given it any thought. I guess because I'm prisoner, to the Negro sector of YouTube. I've never thought that, what, maybe I should put some because brother BMT told me one time, he's like, oh, X man, you should put, some of that stuff up, man. A couple people have told me that. Oh man, you should put some of that stuff up. I just never considered it, man. I keep it for my own, I keep it for my own little like records or whatever. Yeah, I don't.
I'm willing to
But
bet
I
if you
might
posted,
do it, man. I'm gonna think about it.
what I'm saying is a whole other channel, depending on how much you have, and put it in a way that makes sense. So there's some conclusion or completion to it. But if you posted,
Yeah,
let's say 5 videos that are just uploads and list what you're doing and tag it right for the SEO or whatever. So, it taps a certain algorithm. Look at a similar channel, kind of replicate what they did, tag it the similar way. And I'm willing to
yeah.
bet if you already know what it is. I mean, you've been more active on YouTube than me. I don't have to tell you. But if you
I've
see it
thought
get a
about it.
certain amount of views to make it viable, then you'll be like kicking yourself like, damn, I do this fooling with these Negroes all this time. You could have been did that.
Well, this is the thing, brother AM1. This is the thing. Matter of fact, let me do this. I'm going to do this. How about this? I'm going to show you what I mean, and this is probably what kept me from doing this. Let me see if I can pull. Let me see if I can pull this stuff up, man. Because I have actually about 4 or 5 videos up here. Let me see if I can pull them up right quick. Where we at? Where we at here? I have 4 or 5 videos up here that I actually, tried to, do like a little DIY, kind of thing. I call it the X Explains series. All right.
You already got a dope ring to the brand name and everything.
Yeah, I call it the X Explains series. And what I do is, I get up here and because a lot of these videos that's up here are old. I mean, there's a few recent ones. I've actually did a couple with brother BMT. We were talking about blue collar work. I did one with brother Osama Abdu, who's a blue collar landscaper brother. But I'm gonna show you, brother AM1, what I mean. Let me go ahead and share this. I'm gonna show you what I mean, and this is probably why I haven't freaking even considered freaking doing any of this crap. Because okay, here we go. All right. Can y'all see that? That's the X Explains series. This is one that I did with BMT, where we were actually explaining blue collar work. I did this here. I did this a while back. Yeah, I call it the X Explains series. And this particular one, I was actually showing people how to
Old plunger.
use
Now,
an
some
auger, right?
in there, it
I did
also
that.
grips whatever is down there, and
Let's
when you
see.
reel it back up, it'll.
I did that. Let me see. What else did I do? I did this one here. I was showing people how to fix their little grandma's push mower. I did that. So
So you have to make sure, even if it means taking a picture of it with your cell phone or something, to know how they go, because you want to remember this, because it's going to be very important when you put this thing back on, right? So what you want to do is you want to grab a pair of needle nose pliers, okay?
So I will get up on here and kind of explain shit to brothers. I was doing that, but those videos are old. Those videos are like 2017, 2018, I think. I mean, those videos are old.
This was
Yeah, I
since
called the X.
2018.
Yeah.
But you put that on the Power of Thought series that's already within a certain algorithm. So I guess
Yeah.
my thought process
Yeah.
is with the right titling and the right sort of like, SEO comment titling stuff, you know how that stuff works, or you can look at that up. I'm saying on a whole separate channel, get it in the right algorithm. DIY stuff is big on YouTube. Like, man, I've changed like air filters in my Infinity. First time I ever did it was looking at YouTube videos, like as opposed to taking it to some dealership or some shop or whatever. I was like, I could do this, and did it. And was like, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I mean, I've taped a few stuff, man. I even I had one video up here. I don't even know where that's at. I don't even think that's caught up in here somewhere else. Where I was actually teaching people how to start their own garden, because I grow my own fruits and vegetables and shit.
Oh
And
wow,
I came on here. I'm showing everybody, how to start, how to dig it, what type of seed, what zone you live in. Yeah, I went through the whole spiel, man. I went through the whole boring thing of teaching you how to start your own garden and grow your own fruits and vegetables and shit. Yeah, I got one of those videos up there too. Yeah, I do.
you
I
just
do.
did one like that? Because obviously the whole idea would be to have a series of that. But
Yeah, I only did the one. I mean, nobody watched it. It got like, I don't know, 40 views or something like that. Nobody
well,
watched
where
it.
did
So
you put it? In
I
this
was like,
space?
I'm not doing anymore.
You put that
Yeah, I
in this
put it.
space with these
Yeah,
Negroes? Come on.
yeah, I put it here. I put it. I'm trying to look out for the brothers. Teach them how to grow their own stuff and what seeds to buy, and you know, uh, uh, I was showing people how to grow collard greens, tomatoes, broccoli, all kinds of shit, cabbage, all that, beans, watermelons, all that. Because I grow different kinds of shit, man. I grow like 5 or 6 different types of melons. I grow 8 different types of tomatoes. I grow
Damn.
broccoli. I grow lettuce, 2 or 3 types of lettuce, 2 or 3 types of cabbage. I mean, I grow all that shit. So I was out there explaining, showing people how to break up the dirt and cut it up and make the mounds and how to plant. I put a zone chart up to let you know what zone you was in, because the zone dictates when you plant your seeds and how they germinate. Told you I went through the whole barn spiel. Yeah, the whole
No,
barn
so
spiel,
yeah,
man.
it's just you playing for the wrong audience. But I mean, that stuff is extremely valuable. There's whole channels running up doing that. Yeah, I get it. You want to try to make that available for the folks here, but I
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
just came off a stream with G Dizzle, and we talked about the idea of trying to, if you build it, they will come, but they won't come here.
Yeah. Well, you see what this says, right? You see what this says up here, right? Wait a minute. It opens up like this. See what this says on the front of it? Looking out for brothers so they can look out for themselves.
Wow.
That's the whole thing behind it. I want to look
Yeah,
out for the brothers.
gardening and building out stuff like that. Like you got to get to a certain like understanding of what the world is all about before you see the value in that. Unfortunately.
So, should I be saying F these Negroes? Is that what you're telling me, brother AM1?
Well,
Should I
I
be?
mean, that's literally what people been telling me lately. So I get the idea of what I guess what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this, and I was just talking to G about this. We talking about overall Black community. and then this space as like a microcosm of that. And
Mm-hmm.
are we using the space to the fullest? What we would like to see more of in the space, getting out of the space, because this is a media platform. This is media, right? Is it, like to your question earlier, is it just a matter of beefing up your setup, or is it a matter of the topics? Is it a matter, will the topics matter if it's, you're not supplying what people are demanded? So is it a matter of the mentality and overall culture? Yes, it's all of that. So I
Mm-hmm.
guess the answer would be, for Black men who are more diversified in their areas of thought and purpose in life and motivations, that level of diversity isn't here. So if that's something you want to make content about, and theoretically, if you can make money doing it, then you would have to put it out in just the all of YouTube versus trying to aim it within this space. Because basically, these Negroes just want to only hear certain things. So then you play into the wrong audience. At least for
Yeah.
me, doing this kind of visual media work, you would think they would see the benefit here, right? Like with that.
Yeah.
So that's what made me think, oh, well, I'll do the very interesting brothers thing, or I'll offer the visual classes. Shit, the gardening setup like that. I mean, that's
Yeah. Found it.
crazy.
Yeah, this is what this is what I do, man. I grow all kinds of stuff, brother AM1. And I want to share it with the brothers. I was like, because you can do it too. I
Man,
grow cucumbers, melons, tomatoes, strawberries, man. I grow all that shit, man. I
I
grow
got a
all
homie
that
that has
shit.
a
I've
farm in Mexico. I'm gonna send this to him. This
been
is
doing this
crazy.
shit for years, man. This shit is nothing to me, man. I did a little thing. I told you I did a little thing. I made like a little tiny garden. I did the whole tutorial with the tiny garden and the rake, and I was showing everybody how to plant. I had the zone chart up. See, this is the zone chart where, it tells you, what zone you're in, so you know when to drop your seeds in the ground. I put that up for brothers, because I want the brothers to know this shit. You know what I'm saying? I wanted the brothers to know this shit. This is one of my melon patches. Let me see what else. Let me see what else. I was doing tomatoes, showing people tomatoes. Because this is like the top of the season. Everything was still kind of green. It was just growing in. But shit, man, fucking I grow cucumbers. My cucumbers are huge. Lemon plants. I got lemon plants back there. My tomatoes, man, they grow taller than me. I'm 6'2". The camera was at eye length. You see how tall those plants are? They're over my head.
Wow.
So yeah, yeah. I want to share it with the brothers, man. But people don't watch this shit. They don't care about this
Yeah, that got
crap.
to be on a whole other channel, whole other algorithm situation. Because I mean, that's like prepper
Yeah,
level shit. I mean, that's
yeah,
hardcore right there. Like,
yeah. They don't
I
care
want to
about
get
this
more
shit.
into that myself. Like I'm gonna be out in Mexico more, tapping in with my guy out there. He's like has a farm set up, and he's built out this other one, and then he's building a whole other one because he's like rented some other land that has like under this aquifer thing. So yeah, I want to go get in the mix with that more like prepper level type stuff. At the shooting range more. A couple of weeks back was out there with my homies AR. So I want to do more of that as well. But it's kind of like maybe you could drop some of that prepper gun ish kind of stuff here. But that's the real preparation: growing your own food, economic collapse, food supply lines down. They're talking about that kind of stuff. That's you ahead of the game because you must save
Mhm.
a shitload of money on going to a grocery store, eating organic,
Oh,
whole food, whatever, homegrown shit.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I've been doing it for a long time because I mean, I was born and raised in New York, man, but I was raised by Southerners, man. My
Mhm.
father's from Macon, Georgia. So, coming up, we always had like a gigantic garden, animals, chickens, and ducks, because we lived in rural New York. I didn't live in New York City. All right.
Mhm.
We lived in like the suburbs. So we had a big ass yard. And in that big ass yard was a big ass garden, chickens, ducks, rabbits. We had a goat one time. I mean, I grew up taking care of that shit, tending gardens, getting eggs out the chicken coop. Man, I grew up doing that shit. I
Real
grew up
living.
doing that shit. So, now that I'm down in the South, it's easy. You got a big old yard and land and shit. So, you can pretty much do what the hell you want. You got enough room to do it. Now I don't have any animals. The only animal I got is my damn dog. But My wife, she want us to get some chickens. Oh, we get some chickens. I'm like, shit, who the hell gonna mind them? Who gonna take care? I know what that shit all about, boy. I did that shit as a boy. I don't want to deal with that shit. I don't want to deal with it, man. To be honest, that's why we don't have any. That's why we don't have any, because I know what that's all about.
Chickens are hard
Gotta
to deal
worry.
with like that?
Well, not so much to deal with, it's taking care of them. Cleaning the fucking chicken coop. Then when you got chickens around, you also got vermin and shit. You got
Uh,
mice, you got rats. And down here, wherever you got mice and rats, you know what else you got? Fucking snakes. So,
snakes.
I'm in the South. So, I mean, I have to be mindful about, having that shit around, because whatever draws vermin, it also gonna draw snakes and shit. So, I'm mindful of that shit, because that's all people around here need to see is a damn snake. They'll run through the fucking wall. I mean, shit, I killed the little snake shit not too long ago. It might have been like maybe that long. Boy, they saw that damn snake, boy, they like to broke their fucking ankles running away from here. Grown ass people. I'm like, man, y'all running from this little ass fucking snake was this big, boy. They like to tore a fucking hole through the goddamn wall, get away from there, boy. So, I mean, got that shit you got to deal with. I mean, I grew up in New York, so we didn't have to worry about it that much. But you still have to worry about the vermin and shit. And down here, if you got mice and rats and shit, the next thing to follow behind them is snakes. So that's the only reason why I don't got, because I could take care of them. I was taking care of chickens and ducks and shit. And I was like 8 years old, 9 years old. But I mean, I don't want to deal with that shit. Hell
So it's
no.
like levels to the game. One thing
Yeah,
with
I don't
more.
want to
Yeah.
deal with that shit. I mean, maybe sometime down the road, maybe we buy a bigger plot of land. I might think about it. Maybe I can hire a motherfucker to come do it.
I was about to
Maybe
say, how
that.
you gonna do that? Plus, you out there with your guys under cars getting
Yeah,
wood chips in their hair.
yeah, man. If I can hire somebody to
I was like,
come
don't work.
take care of the chickens and shit, I might think about it, but I don't want to deal with that shit, man. I don't want to deal with that shit. I don't, man. And my wife, she want them. Oh, we get some chickens. Hell no. But she ain't gonna take care of the shit. I mean, I got the boys here, but I have to bring them up to speed. I mean, they native New Yorkers. They don't know shit about no chickens.
Hey, they better learn it. They better learn all of that stuff you learned as a boy. Like that's real deal. Like if it gets ugly out here, you want to have those survival skills. Shit, I come learn how to do it. No, that's what I say. Like my guy, I got a guy in Mexico that got a farm and it's his joint. Like, and he got goats, he got chickens, he got all kind of stuff. Rabbits and is growing. Like we got a whole dope like farm set up like it with the irrigation and everything. He built it all out and he's about to do it on some other land too. And I'm like, man, let me come put hands on that because I want to know that for sure. Because I do not trust these people out here will love to box everybody in and have you in their bread lines. I'm cool.
Mhm. Absolutely, brother. Soul of Seed. We can link up, man. Absolutely, man. Especially if you a grower, man. I grow all kinds of shit, man. I mean, I grow pretty much anything. Um, I'm gonna try to this coming season, I'm gonna buy some banana plants. I want to see if I can grow some bananas
Mm.
down here. I'm gonna give it a shot, because I already have a fig tree. I have figs in my yard. So I already have a fig tree. I'm gonna try to get a banana tree, at least one. See if I can have some bananas. Maybe some figs and bananas next summer. I don't know. I got the fig tree to grow, so I think I can get the banana tree to grow too. Fuck it, I'm gonna
That's just
try it.
crazy to think. Maintain it and upkeep it, and you get damn near free food.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What a concept. That's healthier than going wherever else.
Yeah, no chemicals and bullshit on it.
Right,
That's it.
right.
Just water and sunshine. That's it.
And it's
Water and
crazy to
sunshine.
even think like that. That's a big deal because the greater part of world history was like that. Now we in this high tech, this beautiful high tech mechanized society where you get everything to pull up at your door on Amazon. It's like, nah, it's too comfortable. Too
Yeah.
comfortable.
It's made us lazy, man. It's made us complicit, man. Especially if we got a few dollars. All we gotta do is sit on our damn computer and order shit. But you can order anything now. You can order a fucking car if you
Right.
want to. You
Right.
can literally get on the computer and order a car. The car, they'll pull it right on up to your house and back it in here.
Right. With a bow on it.
Yeah, that shit to me, that's crazy. You know, I mean, goddamn, 2 weeks ago, I seen somebody get a car delivered. I was like, damn, that's crazy. You
Right.
can literally sit on your ass. You ain't even got to go to the damn dealership. Just
You
sit on
gotta
your lazy black ass
just
and
walk
just order
outside.
the car. And the fucking car, they just bring it on the truck and just drop it in the driveway.
Too easy. It's convenience.
Too
Convenience comes at a
too
cost.
easy. Too easy, man. Why you think we all fat as hell? We ain't doing shit. We
Exactly.
ain't going to, we ain't even walking around in the supermarket no more, man. We
Right.
ain't walking around. Remember the days where you went to the supermarket and you actually walked around in there and pushed the cart and looked for your shit? The days that you walked around inside the sneaker store or the electronics store
Hmm.
or the car
Online.
dealership. You
Now
walked
it's just
around, you looked, you opened doors, you looked at stuff, you know, you walked around, man. You breathed the air, you did all that. Now everything is from here. Everything. I mean everything. Shit is crazy, man.
get your order at your pulled up. I'm like, no, I'm making a point to like that's part of my thing. Like, the work I do is in tech. It's in technical visual art media. But I make it a point to get more uncomfortable. I want to get more rugged. I want to get my hands dirty and deal with some animals and some. I see what it is being a media guy and seeing relative to these people who the would be rulers, the governors, so to speak. I don't trust
Mm.
them, so it's making me like, I don't like what y'all doing. I'm gonna go the other way, back to the more pioneer kind of days, to the tribal days where we got to live off the land. I want to go that route. I want to be more rugged like that. I like that a little bit better.
So is there any part of media that because I know you do a lot of, you do visual media and all that kind of stuff. Is there any part of media that you wouldn't do if you were to get a gig, say National Geographic wanted you to go to Africa and tape, I don't know, elephants and zebras, I don't know. Would you do that kind of stuff?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's the circumstances of the travel and everything. Like, I mean, that aside, yeah. I mean, I'm down for some thrilling, dangerous-ish kind of stuff. Like, I'm not that put off by that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we got to get up close on some lions. Nah, I ain't gonna. I'm light
Get
skinned,
up
but I'm
close
still
to some
black. We ain't taking
lions.
them kind of
Okay.
risks out here. Or something open ocean, some kind of. Nah, I'm cool. I ain't a big swimmer like that. Nah.
Okay.
But I like the idea of nature, like doing more nature stuff. I want to do more of that. But dangerous animals, not so much. Dope environments, yes. Some kind of media I wouldn't do. I don't want to have to do anything where I got to spin something shady, like
Mhm.
meaning spin it, like make it seem cool. I don't like the thought of that. I get to pick and choose my projects. So in most cases, it's like, damn, I'm meeting people that are doing really dope, empowering stuff. So it's like, okay, great. Let me build that out and show this to people.
Mm. Do you take your camera equipment with you, like, wherever you go? Do you always got a camera on you? Like, if you like going like to the store, or do you always have a camera on you just
Well,
in case?
no, it depends. Like if I'm going, it depends on where I'm going. But like if I'm going somewhere and I know there might be some cool scenery, then yes. But like just around the way to the store, no, because part of it is this is Oakland. Yeah, it's not safe to be out here with
Mm.
cameras. Like they is notorious for robbing people for cameras. Like people have died like right around the corner getting shot over cameras. I got robbed for a camera a few years back over in West Oakland filming some stuff with this guy. And yeah, these dudes rolled up on me and jacked me for the camera. And then I heard like almost 24 hours later, the very next day, but a block over, some dudes ran up on some dude and tried to hit him for whatever he had. And I guess he pushed back and they shot him and he died. And I was like, damn, good thing I just handed over the
Yeah.
camera. Assuming that was the same guys, they out here getting it in. And it's even worse now. So out and about with cameras in Oakland, like I was just out filming something the other day or a few weeks back with one of the homies. And one of the homies passed away in August, and he was like a known like rapper and whatnot in the area. He passed away, and they did this dope mural of him. And the homie that I went to go see, he knows him and everything. So it's like on the way to his studio. So I'm passing by. I hop out the car real quick with this exact camera. And I'm like filming. I'm getting shots of it. And I'm looking around, head on swivel, head on swivel. I'm filming. I'm getting shots, get close, get far away. Then I'm kind of filming myself talking a little bit. And the whole time, head on swivel. Because it only takes a second. Somebody see that? Oh, what? Okay. We getting that. And the right person roll up. You see something like that in your face. Barrel, it's all bad. Yeah. And I know it happens because I know a lot of homies that got hit for their stuff. They hit like camera crews, like from news outlets and whatnot. Some news outlet guy got killed over right by Lake Merritt, downtown Oakland. They're doing way more brazen stuff, pulling up on cameras, and it's like, damn, somebody get hit and die over a $2,000, $5,000 camera. I mean, $20,000 camera. Like them news cameras are
Head over a
serious.
damn camera, man.
So it's kind of like, since that's happened to me before, and I'm the kind of, I'll talk all kinds of shit. So it would take so much from me if somebody pulled up and hit me from I have multiple cameras, so it'd be stupid. I have to just be like, all right, here. But I'm gonna talk some shit and be like,
Damn.
how about you see these hands though? Like, don't be a bitch about it, but you get the wrong, you know what I'm saying? The wrong knucklehead out here. That's what?
Yeah.
What you say?
Yeah.
Prove a point.
Comply.
Damn.
Yeah.
I should just shut up and just hand it. Yeah, you know.
It's not even
So,
worth it, man.
I head on swivel, and I'm like, if they get the drop on me, then they got me. But yeah, so no, I'm not out and about just everywhere with a camera in Oakland. I'm not playing around. No, you can't do it.
Well, we know this for to be true. The best way to win is to avoid losers. So, I mean, that's just kind of what it is. Because anybody that'll just run up and jack a brother for his camera's a fucking loser. So, you know, you have to continue to win. You have to avoid losers, man. That's just what it is.
Right.
I know people don't like when you say that kind of stuff. Oh man, you shouldn't say that. The bullshit.
Shit.
All right, you ain't gonna win at being around losers. I don't give a fuck how big of a winner you are. I mean, you in the middle of a bunch of losers. There's a loss coming from somewhere, and probably from one of them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's coming from somewhere. So
Exactly.
yeah, I mean that's the smart way to do it. I was going to ask you a couple more questions before I let you go, brother. So do you see yourself like? Because I know you probably do work for. Because I know Brother Supreme, he don't just do stuff on YouTube. You know, he does stuff for other people too. You know, he does shit for people's websites and you know all that kind of shit. So I know you do that too, right? So do you ever see yourself like just being off of this YouTube thing, like, you know, just going off and doing your multimedia shit somewhere else and we don't see you no more?
Well, that's kind of the thing. Like, it's actually kind of like the opposite. I already was off doing my multimedia stuff in what I say the real world, like, because I'm out and about, like really boots on the ground. Uh, and a lot of the stuff I've done, I've never posted like in this sort of channel that's sort of like YouTube facing. So I'm actually doing the opposite, and that's kind of the thing because I want to leverage these platforms. The whole trick is it's just after being that hard headed about it, there's only so much I'm going to get out of pushing that type of content towards this space. So to answer that question, I'm definitely going to push more on YouTube or online platforms or whatever. Like whether it be YouTube where I use that to funnel people to some other kind of online thing or some kind of like subscription based service where I'm educating people or training people, something like that. But you know, either way, online for me is the way to go. And that creates a situation where I can pick and choose projects, work on my own intellectual property ideas even more. So it's quite the opposite. If anything, people will see more of what I'm doing, even within this space. I'll still bait people over. The people want to get it and see what's up and understand. For the people that just want to keep talking about the same stuff, keep doing it. For the people that's like want to change their life and grow up and do something different that could be lucrative and work for yourself, then it'll be there as well. So come join me on this other channel or on this other platform, or come join my other training group or whatever. So no, quite the opposite. I'm going to do more online, have more of an online presence.
Absolutely, man. Um, I appreciate you coming through, brother. Learned a lot of things that I wanted to ask you back when you were on before. But I think when I had you on before, I think I had you and like two or three other people. And I couldn't really get to the nitty gritty of what you do and how you do it and how you go about it and what you think about the rest of the stuff, man. So I appreciate you coming on, brother AM1. It's always a pleasure to have you around, brother. Um, you're probably one of the most gifted people on YouTube. I'm telling brothers these things in their face because I believe in giving people their flowers while they're above ground. And you're very talented, brother, man. I got a lot of respect for you as well. And I'll be down at your channel. Well, I've been down at your channel. I'll continue to come down there, I will say. And I'm always interested in what you got to say, man. And you're always welcome here on the TPOT YouTube page, man. And I
Appreciate you, big bro.
appreciate you coming. I appreciate you coming through, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man, because you're doing good work down there, man. And you're one of the more well-respected people, in this circle of influence, man. And I think people found out why that is tonight. Um, you're one of those brothers, man, who you really give a shit about these Negroes, um, and you want better for them. And maybe just maybe tonight they might have figured it the hell out, but I don't know. We'll see. But
Asking a lot. Asking a lot.
I appreciate you, man. And before you bounce, man, make sure you put all your information um into the chat. Moderators, please put the brother link in the chat if you don't mind, you lazy Negroes. God damn it. Put the brother's link in the chat, man. All right. And keep me posted on the very important brothers when y'all get it up and running. When you think you're gonna have that going? It's gonna be a little
Uh,
bit down the road, right?
yeah, I mean, it'll be within February for sure. So I'm working on that
Okay.
with my guy. We really want to like refine this content and really make it super duper sharp. So we'll be shooting some new content moving forward, and then I'll be backtracking and kind of going over some stuff I've already done. So just kind of working it
Okay.
from both ends. We're gonna like front load some content and try to do some promos and push it out within the Manosphere. If the Manosphere brothers support it, we want to run that up and try to get that over 1,000 subs ASAP. Get it to where we
Okay.
can stream and get it monetized ASAP and just run it up more. If people, rock with it, then it'll run up. But that's something that's going to be more greater YouTube facing, but I also want the brothers in the Manosphere to support it as well. Because it's
Absolutely.
for us. It's very interesting brothers.
I'll be down there to check it out, man. I'm doing some new shit. They're gonna see some new stuff from me in 2022, boys. Some shit gonna make brothers sad. Some shit gonna make brothers mad. But some of it gonna actually make you Negroes glad. So you're gonna have sad, mad, and glad in 2022, Negroes. That's
Make
what you're
them
getting.
feel it. Feel
Yeah,
something.
man. Feel something, Negroes. But once again, man, I appreciate you, brother, man. Thanks for coming through, my brother.
Right on, brother. Appreciate you.
Peace. Yeah. Brother AM1, everybody, man. I like that brother, man. He's very interesting and he's about his business, man. And he's good with that camera shit too, man. Graphics and all that kind of shit. He's like Brother Supreme, man. They just really good at that stuff, man. See, me, I've never was good at that kind of shit. Now, if you put me in front of an engine, I could take that motherfucker apart with a pair of pliers and a screwdriver and put it back together with just the pliers. But this digital stuff, man, I was never that good at it. I mean, I'm getting a little better by watching other people, but that was never really my thing, man. So I really appreciate brothers like AM1, man, and Brother Supreme, man, cause the shit that they do, man, and they make that shit look so easy, man. Yeah, they make it look easy. So y'all go ahead, man, and spam the brothers channel in the chat if you don't mind. And yeah, speaking of Brother Supreme, while I got y'all here, let me go ahead and hit y'all in the head with T.P.O.T's programming notes, Negroes, because next week, Brother Supreme will be here and he will be squaring off with Enemy Nation here. And to this day, they still haven't told me what the damn topic is. It's going to be next Saturday. I got to get with Supreme and find out what the hell they're going to be debating, man, because I have no idea. But they're going to be debating next Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And all I know is it got something to do with Thomas Sowell. That's all I know, y'all. I don't know anything else. So I'm going to get with Brother Supreme. Try to get with him tomorrow and see if they done came up with a solid topic so I can put that, on the thumbnail. Because right now the thumbnail says the topic is to be determined. So when I find out, I will let y'all know. But it is going down next Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. You Negroes know. Yeah. But I'm gonna say this, man, before we wrap up. Like I said, man, I got a lot of respect for Brother AN1, man, and what he does. And one thing about him, man, he keeps things on he's a very positive brother. He's a very positive brother. I mean, you're not gonna catch him in no negative BS, that the rest of us be into. I mean, he don't do that shit, man. He's all about elevating shit, man. I mean, I've been watching him for a while, and he's about elevating stuff, man. And to be honest with you, we probably need more brothers like him, around us. All right. We probably need more brothers like him around us, man, because I think we need a lot more positive energy and shit. And you know, because I mean, negative energy. If you want to be a negative energy person, that's fine. I mean, I'll never be a motherfucker to tell you what to do. But what I will say is, I like positive energy people better. Yeah, I like positive energy people better. Yeah, I just do. I would take one and ones over 20 negative ass Negroes. It would just be a better it's just gonna be a better stream. It's gonna be a better conversation. It's gonna be a better time. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I believe. And brothers like A&1, they welcome on here any fucking time. That's the type of brother that can fucking just hit me up, like the day before. Be like, yo, X, I want to come on. You got it, man. We need more brothers like that, man. We do. I'm just saying. But anyway, and y'all get down there, man. Subscribe to the brother's channel. Check him out, man. He does great shit down there. He does great work, man. He actually has great conversations down there. He even had my ass down there the other week. I was down there talking shit. Yeah, I was down there talking shit the other week. So going down there, man, to check out Brother A&1, man. Like I said, man, he does great work down there, man. And brothers like that, man, should be respected, man, and given their damn flowers while they still above ground Negroes. But I appreciate everybody coming out tonight, man, as always. I appreciate all the cash apps and the super chats, man. But most importantly, man, I appreciate your participation. You could have been anywhere tonight, man. Anywhere. You could have spent your Friday night anywhere. But you decided to spend it here with us. And it's appreciated, man, because I don't take you good folks lightly, man. I never have and I never will. You got my word on that, man. You know? As always, y'all have hung out with us, man, and spent some time with us. And there go another super chat. Brother AM1 with the super chat for $5. Huge honor, Brother X. Nah, I appreciate you, brother. It's an honor to have you here anytime, my brother. You get this. I appreciate you dropping your hard-earned coins on this platform. Appreciate that, Brother AM1. But yeah, man, I appreciate you good folks, man, for coming through, man. As always, y'all know I do. Um, I was thinking about doing a show tomorrow, but I don't think I am. I think I'm just gonna do nothing tomorrow. Well, drink beer and smoke cigars. I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow. But that's pretty much it. I actually had a almost a debate for tomorrow, but it just kind of got scrapped. You know, a lot of shit goes on. See, what y'all don't understand, man, a lot of shit goes on in the back channels, man. You know, a lot of shit goes on, man. A lot of shit goes on. People hit me up talking about debates, and then this person don't want to debate this person, and then this person backs out, and you know, just a lot of shit goes on. So it just kind of fell apart. So I don't think we're gonna do nothing tomorrow. All right, unless something changes, and I don't see that happening. So I will see y'all. I think I'm doing something on Wednesday. I'm not sure about that either, but I will keep y'all posted, man. You know, I will let y'all know, man. You just have to check out the thumbnails and all of that, man. That's all. You know, but once again, man, I appreciate y'all coming out tonight, man, and spending some time with us, man. It's always a pleasure to be with you, good folk. And shout out to Brother AM1 for coming through, man, and spending some time with us, man, and putting us up on some video game, man. You know, the title of the show, the video game. All right. All right. So, with that, I will leave you good folks with 3 words, you know, like I always do. Open your mind.
Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power.
And so a community is where you control your police, you control your commerce, you control your education, you control your house. We don't control none of that. We live in a hood. Huh? Well, what about the Negroes that get out? Oh, well, see, my cousin, they say he's a multi-millionaire, almost at $1 billion. Three PhDs, working on 2 more. Driving down the street in Chicago in his Rolls Royce, enjoying himself, and he hears these sirens and looks through the mirror and sees this cop car flashing lights. He squeezed the steering wheel, man. Heart beats fast. Because he knows the price of a Negro, what it could be. And then when that cop car passed him by, he said, thank God he wasn't after you in the first place, punk. That Negro thing you can't get away from. It's universal. They wasn't coming after you. With all your millions, with your Rolls Royce, with your PhD, didn't help. That's the hood. Why do you think you never pick up the paper till you read over and over see white families come? You think it's thousands of black cops in America. Why don't you see white families crying as black cops shot my loved one 42 times in the back of the head? Why do you think black cops are that? You think they're more spiritual? Think they're better? No! They got enough sense to know that white folks ain't gonna tolerate it. And I will stop in our neighborhood when we decide we will not tolerate it. Now, if we was organized, which is hard to organize people who are just gonna run crazy and you don't know you're crazy. But if we were, with the money we have, and the many people who would come to our aid that don't know what it's like to be a Negro, and we said, if we said, look, we saying, if we don't get a federal law to deal with police brutality, that anytime a cop or anybody carry a gun, have to have a license just like you used to drive a car. And if you use it wrongly, you'll lose your license. And if it's upheld, you can never work again as a cop or a store guard or a private detective. How do you get Congress to push that through? Well, you take your economic power and you call on your friends, black, white, young and old, and say, this coming Christmas, if we don't have a federal law to outlaw police brutality by law, then we call them for a nationwide boycott of Christmas and it start on Thanksgiving. Well, let me tell you something. 79% of all retail in America happens between Thanksgiving and Christmas. People stay in business all year, lose money just for Christmas, huh? Well, what happens now? Factory Avenue, Toys R Us, Sears and Roebuck, Westinghouse. They will get the bill, and all they got to do is make one phone call and say, Harry, that's the senator, I want that bill pushed through in 3 days. Okay, it's an economic thing. It's that simple. But we have the power, but the system has wiped us out so bad.
Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power.
Copy. Santana Lincoln 6. Go ahead. Clear suspect down, 10-4. That's 10-4. The officer's code 4. We have one suspect that's been shot.
Open your mind.